I don't... Okay, I think we're good to go. That was weird. Yeah, for some reason I am both logged into YouTube and not logged into YouTube. Like Schrodinger's YouTube connection. I don't know exactly what happened, but I'm streaming. Oh my God, that was loud. Don't do that. That was scary. That was so scary. Don't do that. I didn't like that. Yeah, I'm somehow logged into both streams at once, which is crazy. Why? I don't know. But YouTube appears to be up and running. What's up, Dex? I won't lie to you, Awaz. When you said shell-shocked, I opened the spells that we're going to look at today, and I was like, none of them are named shell-shocked. What is she talking about? And then I went, oh! Stream for tomorrow. Gotcha. Now we're... Yep, okay. Gotcha. 100% gotcha. Okay, I understand. I think Jimbo's going to join us tonight, too. I'm okay with that. Jimothy Jones. Yo, we played Rivals earlier. There was another player on our team named Himothy, and I was like, this might be the greatest day of our lives. I made Knight with Deadpool, so all my characters are Knights now. And I got Gambit to Captain, which I didn't think I was going to get this early. Wait, you were home? I didn't know you were home. If I knew you were home, I would have definitely 100%, 1000% invited you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hey, I got on right after I got off the phone call with you, Dex. So, you Dex sounds like the first boss in, what was that, Dark Souls 3? Udex Gundyr. I didn't know that. I'm sorry. You could have played with us. Shit. Wait, is it not? Okay, according to the readings, it's just because the music's stopping or restarting. I was according to the music, there's no computer audio playing, which is weird. I don't understand that. Can we fix that? Maybe? Please? Thank you. I was like, oh my God. Since Saturday! That's too many days to wait. Oh my God. Let me just pop this in here. Yep, I'm logged into the wrong account. I don't know why. Grimbo! I will say that in the meantime, before we get started for the day, what was I going to say? Oh, I added a new command. If any of you guys want to go straight to DM Lacara's start playing.games, you can type the command GM Lacara at any point. Boom. And go straight to her page. That first link is not correct. What happens if you go to this first link? I was going to say, hold on, I'm going to fix that. I didn't realize that it was going to make a new link. That's not correct. Let me grab this real quick. I can fix that on Twitch. I cannot fix that on YouTube at the moment because it takes me a while to log in. But click that second link. Oh, it doesn't do it on YouTube. Perfect. That's perfect. So I'll just change the text on Twitch. Boom. Give me 1 second and I'll fix it. But you can go straight to her page. I think at some point I'm going to change the update. Boom. Thank you. I'm going to change the Patreon link. No, I'll keep the Patreon link. I'll link directly to the products if I can possibly. Like a would you like to run a 0.5 session, a 0.5 session? Would you like to do character creation boot camp? That kind of thing. I think that makes the most sense. But I did add GM Lacara to both chats. So if anyone wants to have GM Lacara run them a game, that's what we're gonna do. And as far as the Patreon product things go, the questionnaire will appear after you make your purchase thing. Yeah. And then you can DM it to me or send me a message or what have you. And I'll also put on I did talk to the other DMs, at least DM Lacara and DM Shin. I was like, do you guys want me to put you on the questionnaire, like how people can get certain people to run their games? I think that's great. I'm going to hopefully have at least one of the products up by next week. But what I would like to be able to have in part of the questionnaire, like, what game system do you want us to run? Because all of us can run more than one game type now. For me and DM Lacara, it's 5e and Enclave, and DM Shin has extra things in there, but I want to add Powered by the Apocalypse type games to my repertoire, so I'm going to go through the Avatar TTRPG from Magpie Games very soon. I own every book that has been released, and I have not opened a single one of them. But I know they're about to make another book, and I'm like, don't you dare. Don't you dare. We have, so our Fire Genasi in our campaign is actually part Shadar Kai. Doesn't have enough to make it through the Mythal. Like, it doesn't have enough elf blood in them, but it's definitely in there. Mostly it's just been overwritten by Fire Genasi, so you do what you can. Ooh, excuse me. But our Fire Genasi is also a Shadow Sorcerer, so get all that sweet, sweet Shadar Kai. Ooh! Is that your Artificer? You're going to love these spells too, hopefully. Hopefully. I know a bunch of the DMs are going to be late. So we'll probably chill until 8:15-ish. You need to talk to Grimbo about Artificer stuff. Honestly, your Artificer is closer to the kind of like spacefaring that he would enjoy. Whereas I'm not 100% against hard sci-fi. It's that you won't get to hard sci-fi type spell jamming from the Forgotten Realms. Like, we'd have to have started somewhere else. Because there's a colony on the moon, but even they use regular Spelljammer type ships. Not to be confused with the vacation home on the moon that exists in DM Lacara's campaign that we accidentally sent Noni to. And by accidentally, I mean it was going to eat us, so we were like, nope, you can go over there. Wait, Awaz, have you shared your ship? Like, she has ship designs and stuff, man. It looks fucking gorgeous. Check that shit out, dude. Dude. Oh my god, I just realized you have a 1-year badge? God damn! Does Dex also have a 1-year badge? Where's Dex? Dex has a 6-month badge. Oh shit! Awaz, you're fucking killing it, okay? I just realized your wolf changed. Because it's been 12 months! Let's fucking go! Your icon is a wink. It's winky time. Dex still has sunglasses. Sunglasses still pretty fucking cool. Because Twitch really likes to do more than just the watch streak, baby! You've been here a whole year, girl. Hell fucking yeah. I love this. This makes me so happy. Like, I might cry. I closed up my sweater like that was gonna protect me from my voice cracking. Oh shit. Okay, so like I have you guys' chat open and I'm looking at it and I'm like, yo, it's different. I can't, something's different. Something's different about this. And then I clicked it, and you can zoom in on desktop. Yes! I got a notification the other day that was like, you need to make more icons. And I was like, do I? I'm not going to say no, but like, do I? Are you guys excited to talk about Artificer spells? There's also a potentially game-breaking spell that I want to go over today. And I'm hoping that Clubs shows up for it. Because it's very old-school coded. I think he would like it. Also, this is a Loxodon. So it's the same race as my Elefunk in DM Bacon's campaign. And then this is a Myr, M-Y-R. Actually, Grimbo, you probably really like Myrs. They're like construct folk. And they have weird, like, toucan beak-shaped heads. But there's all different kinds of Myrs. And usually they make all your artifacts better in Magic. Usually. Some of them are just straight mana rocks, but basically 100%. But in regular Forgotten Realms stuff, right in Faerun, there is a group of Loxo, which are like the unevolved version. They're much bigger than Loxodons, and they came to the Forgotten Realms on a spaceship, and it crashed. And they just like live in the plains now. I love lore. Okay, that's good. I have the page open here just so we can look at the comments, but I don't think there's any actual comments. So I will share with you guys the homebrewery link when we get there. I'm sorry, the what? You have our attention. Show me. Show me. Can someone remind me to send magic bows to Murgo later? He's going to play a ranger in our one shot. I get to run a bachelor party one shot. That's how fucking cool and nerdy we are. Can't say no to that. You think I want to go to a pool party when I can play D&D? Honestly? No, never mind. I was going to say I would play D&D in a pool, but no, everything would just go in the water. No, thank you. No, thanks. Everything in the water. I don't understand how the XP works on YouTube. Oh, it's just a... Okay, interesting. Oh, that's my XP for the chat. Got you. Oh! And there's a lot of weird animal people out in space. Like the GIFs? They're hippo people. And they're always dressed up like they're fighting in Napoleonic War, but they have like blunderbusses and stuff. And I think that's so funny. Love me a good GIF. I did have some trouble with the jukebox earlier, but I'm glad everything seems to be working fine. I'm thinking about now, like, how do I get the jukebox to Vegas? That's gonna be my problem. Oh, that's like a four-pronged oh my God, four-pronged joke, Awaz. That's my brain. My brain can't process that. I'm not smart enough to get that joke. Hey, DM Shin.
What's going on, Okami? What's going on, everybody?
Hi, chat.
A four-pronged attack, you say?
There's so many
sounds kind of
levels to that joke, man.
Four-pronged attack.
Also, to let you know, and I'll tell DM Lacara when she comes in, there's now a command in the chat to go straight to her start playing games. You can just type !GM Lacara and go there and sign up to play in a game that GM Lacara is running. And Awaz has been a subscriber for 1 year, and her icon just changed, and it's fantastic.
Oh my goodness. AWA's got the 1 year. Yes. Yeah. Yes. I like this. This makes me happy. This brings me joy.
Okay, I
Also,
like
what's
that
going on,
starship.
I'm scrolling through. I see Grimbo mentioned sci-fi,
Mm-hmm.
and it seems like Dex might be lurking. Okay.
Like I
I like
said
this.
to Grimbo before, I was like, I don't care if you keep us as your active window or not. Since I've recently learned if the Twitch window isn't your active window, it doesn't count you as a watcher.
Mm,
And I was
that's
like,
weird.
interesting. So there's potentially like way more people in streams. They just won't show up. They're watching, but they won't show up.
Mm, that's weird. I don't think I like that.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, well, I mean, I could get them in if I'm obviously not going to call out each and every one of you who are lurking. That's weird.
Hmm.
I've learned.
It's like you there. I see you. I know you lurk.
Especially by name. Like, at the beginning, I didn't know that. I was just happy to have people to talk to, what have you. But when I see other people doing it now, I'm like, don't do that. They don't like that. The lurkers don't like that.
What up, Grimbo?
All right. I think we can get a little bit ahead here. Well, not a little bit ahead, but today on the docket. Ooh, you're being called out.
Oh, you're calling me out. Hey, Waz. What challenge might you be throwing my way? Oh, cough, cough. Like double cough? Kincaid?
I like it. I like it. If you are on YouTube right now, you can drop the description of this very video and follow along with us with Artificer spells, level 3 to 5. It says from the Infinite Scroll, but I was gonna say the author's name on Reddit was PmeadePmeade, and I feel like there's a joke there that I don't get, but that's fine. If you're on Twitch, you can follow along with this handy dandy link that I'm gonna pin until it's manually unpinned.
That's a long time.
Mm-hmm. And for those of you who are in the DM Roundtable chat, boom, I'm sharing it right now. There's really no discussion in the... Ooh, explain the joke. Make it not funny anymore. I know how jokes work. I had the Reddit post still because that's the bookmark that I use, but there's no real discussion in there. Just like, oh, hey, you missed a thing. And the author was like, oh, okay, I fixed it in the actual spell. And I'm like, all right, so then we don't need to look at the Reddit post today. But this is Artificer spells, level 3 to 5. And this is a big old Loxodon, and here's a mirror. And
Okay.
I feel like he had to have gone back in and fixed this to make it say 5e14, because this is from many years ago.
Yeah, this is definitely an edit.
I'm like, okay, I mean...
Also, love his logo. His little
Right.
tiny little logo.
That
I've
is
been
clever.
trying to figure that out, and like create a logo that like I can put on the works that I'm working on.
Ooh! Okay. Tell me
But
more.
that's been a challenge. Well, as you know, Kami, I started working on my first sci-fi. Uh, I've gotten pretty deep. In fact, actually, I think I've pretty much written it. Now it's just formatting. which has been a cool project in getting better at formatting. And yeah, this is gonna be kind of cool to see how they. I'm looking at the first two spells that come out of this, so I'm already excited. But I'm intrigued because the latest thing that I'm working on has no magic whatsoever. Magic is technology.
Ooh. Grimbo, are you hard? I'm pretty sure you're hard.
uh, in that you find, where's my Artificer PDF shit? Ah, I do owe you. Wait, I do owe you a new class? I owe people some classes and some Artificer PDF. I do owe and create a Artificer
Oh my god,
PDF.
you're right.
I completely forgot.
I was like, oh, 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 oh. Oh, you're gonna have to duel over this, aren't you?
I'm gonna have to work on. I'm gonna have to get dueled. You called me out on this one, and you got me there, AWAS. I apologize. I've been bitten by the bug of inspiration, but I will provide you with your Artificer because I do owe you that.
Since you've already looked at these, okay, so this packet, it doesn't have any first or second level spells. It's all third to fifth level spells. Just in case you guys were wondering why we're starting at 3, it's just third to fifth, which is like the middle to end game of your Artificer if you're playing like a full campaign, because they're half
All right.
casters. Would you like to
Now
take?
again, I was just gonna say. Now remember, the thing about Artificers is they were built for a different part of D&D.
True.
I'm kind of worked in, so scale accordingly.
Mm.
It's always my heads up about Artificers. I love them. The scale accordingly.
Do you want to take Ballstorm?
Why not?
Ooh, multi-class with a Warlock Artificer? A Warlock Officer? Interesting
That is
combo.
true.
I'll be thinking about that for a while.
Well, I mean, technically, you packed weapon your Artificer weapon.
Oh, yes. Oh, so many balls. This first spell, in one of the first 5e campaigns I played a rogue who was obsessed with ball bearings. And the amount of times the DM also gave me like bouncy balls in addition to my regular ball bearings, and like my background was folk hero, so I was like a dude who would like, all the children loved me, but while I was distracting them with the bouncy balls and their parents, I would go steal shit. And the amount of times we used my ball bearings for stupid effect, like especially on a dude who would have way too high AC for us to hit, I would fucking ball bearing, and then someone would trip them into the ball bearings, and then they'd fall over. One time, I got to make a line of ball bearings, and we pushed a guy across the room into lava, and it was fantastic. I love ball bearings.
But first off, you said caster guns, AWAS, and I immediately thought of Outlaw Star.
Ooh! We were just talking
Where,
about that the other day.
like, quite literally, the beautiful part of Outlaw Star is that they do not have magic. Magic is condensed into bullets and fired out of casters, which are guns. That is, I feel like that is the, yes, thank you, AWAS. Thank you. Thank you. That I support. Yes, they absolutely had magic. It was just most were cast, but every once in a while you got people that hit that Ottawa Sampa. Really cast some crazy stuff. Well, I'll never forget that show. Outlaw Star is one of my favorite base anime of all time. It's goated for me.
Come on, you're a rocket ship. You have a rocket ship with arms. Come on.
Am I listening to what I think I am?
Some
I
air gear.
recognize this. Yes, I recognize air gear. Oh, Come on, you think I don't recognize that Skankfunk?
Did you guys know that Skankfunk, the artist who made the Air Gear soundtracks, is also Hideki Naganuma, the guy who made the soundtracks to Jet Set Radio?
I did.
I love him.
It's
He
one
is.
of the,
If you
it's one of
don't
the, it's
follow
one of
him
the
on
craziest
Twitter,
things about him.
please do. I think he's still Naganuma-san, CEO of Boobs, is his. That was his name for years and years and years. He loves talking to people, especially in English, and he shits on every other like Japanese artist and author ever that refuses to ever speak English. He's like, why would you not want to make friends? You guys are dumb.
That was Naganuma. That man is a menace of the highest caliber. Ugh.
Good.
Sorry. I got taken away. Sorry. When
The good
anytime I
old
hear
days.
Eric, I get taken back to a simpler time. A much simpler time. So Ballstorm, third level conjuration, single action, 90 feet worth of range, and a little bit of concentration up to a minute, and a handful of ball bearings. You can cause a hailstorm of ball bearings to swirl within a 15-foot radius, centered on a point you can see within range. That sentence felt like there was a whole lot of extra words.
Mm.
I've been recognizing this in reading spells and stuff like that sometimes, where it's just like, did we add too many words for flair? A hailstorm of steel ball bearing swirls within a 15-foot radius spear centered on a point you can see within range. Whoa. Creatures inside the area must make a dex saving throw, taking 10d4 bludgeoning damage on failure, or half as much on success. Afterwards, the ball bearings fall to the ground underneath the spear, where they remain for the duration of the spell. So, the balls become inert. Immediately.
My balls
No.
are inert.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I will say though, 10d4 for a third level spell, that's kind of chunky. Potentially 40 damage in a spell to all creatures within 15 feet. That's more than a fireball, isn't it?
The total would be. Oh my god.
Keep forgetting.
Fireball's 8d6, I think.
That's 48. Okay, yeah. So it's slightly weaker than a fireball.
I was like, I should know this. I've bought Bacon multiple sets of fireball
Right.
dice.
Yes.
I see what you did there.
It's strong. I think it's interesting. And they do say that when a creature moves or stands up in the area for the first time on that spell, they have to make the dex save or they fall prone. I do think it's interesting that you just get pelted with a swirling vortex of bearings.
And then they stay there, so you can do the as they can't stand up
Right.
afterwards.
I do think that's a cute little additional function. I think, though, for a third level spell slot, that seems... I don't know. I'm unsure on how I feel on that one. I do like the spell, though. I think it gives a lot of cool flair. But I could also see this being, like, a really cool thing that, like, you just know how to do as a... like a Merv grenade of ball bearings.
Yeah, like
As
if
an
I was
artificer.
I would also give this to. I wasn't the magic using rogue, but the subclass for that, which I cannot think of the name of. Oh, it's annoying. Oh my god, what are you? What are you? What is the magic rogue? Somebody help me out.
I don't. Oh!
What are you? I'm gonna find you.
I know what you're talking about.
I don't care about Beyond 20. Get out of my way. Come here. What are you? What are you? Is it Matt? No. It's definitely not. Arcane
Well,
Trickster.
remember, it's 2020. Arcane Trickster, okay. You know, I will say this. Here's something I think is interesting about Arcane Trickster. I think it's misplaced in the rogue spot.
Hmm.
I think it should be a Fey-related class.
Ooh.
And should be attached to a ranger.
I could see that. I could see that a lot. That does make a lot of sense. Especially if you're actually going for being a trickster. Like,
Right.
tricksy hobbitses. Like, very, very much Fey. And not just like what most people use the trickster rogue for. The arcane trickster rogue. Just to be like, I'm going to do something cool before I stab you in the gut.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that there aren't fairies and fae and what have you that want to stab you in the gut too, but different, usually a different kind of thing happening.
It's a little fun thing to do there. But I think that this could also, and I realized it when I was reading these other spells as well. I think that these would also make very cool items or artificer tools
Hmm.
that you could build.
I could definitely see that too. Hello, DM Lacara.
Hello, how are you boys doing?
And just like that, we assembled another head to the Voltron-like beast that is the round table.
If we have one more, we won't be missing a limb.
Ooh,
If we count the jukebox, I was just counting how many faces
and
are
I'll
in here.
form the head. That's jukebox right there. And I'll form the head. Oh, funny. Going on? I feel like this is the first time I think this year all three of us have been all together.
Yeah, it's been
Oh my
weird.
god,
It's-
yeah. Oh my
It only took us till
god.
the middle of the month. The start of this year has been wacky for the round table.
Yeah. Oh. So what are we up to? What did I crash?
We just finished Ballstorm.
That is a terrible name for a spell.
It apparently launches a cyclone of ball bearings.
There's so many cooler things you could name that.
Yep.
Like Steel Storm.
This is PmeadePmeade, whatever you are, whoever you are, or whatever the Infinite Scroll, whatever you want to call yourself. Clearly, we have the same mindset because this is just as funny to me as Sucked Off. Like, it's just as funny.
I feel like Shin and I are part of the like 0.03% of D&D people that don't have the sense of humor of an 11-year-old boy.
I can tap into it from time to time, but
Right. It's not your native, it's not your go-to.
not in writing. No, I do a good joke, but
Yeah.
I think thousands of balls. Though I will say that this does bring me to one of my favorite PS2 games where the character exclaims in perfect English, 10,000 perfectly rotating golden magnetic balls. And he just exclaims that unprompted. It has nothing to do with any other part of the game. He just exclaims that about this machine. And the main characters just go, "Why would you say it like that?" That is the moment that we just had. It's you came into the room and you were like, why would they exclaim it like that?
But why?
Of all the ways you could explain that, why this?
There were
just
so
think
many
Steel
choices.
Storm would
You
have
picked
sounded
this
a
one.
lot cooler.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just.
Well, I like the idea though.
I feel like the only way, because it's verbal somatic and it has a material component, the only way to really, like, if you're not doing Aang's, like, spinning wind orb in the hand thing with actual ball bearings, then you're not casting this correctly.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
1000% yes.
Yeah, like I need you to be Magneto swirling these ball bearings in your hand as you're preparing this spell. Like that should be your concentration.
And you have to
gotta
make
be
the face
holding
Aang
it.
does.
Yeah, you've got to be holding it like, oh god, the resident bard is texting me pun jokes while I'm on here with you.
He's like, I hear a necessity. I have a need.
Yeah, he doesn't even listen, he just picks up on the vibe. Yeah.
No. Tungsten balls. No one should confuse this with tungsten balls, please.
You've got to be swirling this like you're holding a glass of fine wine.
Yes.
Yes.
Like that has to be the hand motion.
I love this.
Just a perfect spiral of magnetic ball bearings. That is a hard statement to make out loud. A swirling vortex of balls, just hopefully not tungsten balls.
Yeah.
But if you're not looking to have a swirling vortex of ball bearings, Okami, maybe you could check out a glue ball for us.
Me and Grimbo were just having a conversation about Paste Pot Pete, who's AKA the Trapster, but he used to go by Paste Pot Pete. He's a Spider-Man rogue, but like of the absolute worst quality. And one of his things was he has a glue gun. Like that's his weapon. He has a glue gun. And all I'm thinking of is this could be Paste Pot Pete's thing. But then I got to the end of this, which we're gonna get to. I wasn't thinking the Katamari route, but here we are. So glue ball is a 3rd level conjuration. Casting time of an action, range of 60 feet. Verbal component, somatic component, and material component, a wad of sticky resin, concentration up to a minute. You create a 5-foot diameter sphere of viscous glue on the ground in an unoccupied space of your choice within range. When you cast this spell as an action and on subsequent turns, you can move the glue ball up to 20 feet, rolling it across the ground. The glue ball can move through creature spaces, and when it moves through a medium or smaller creature space for the first time on a turn, they must make a dex saving throw. On a failure, the creature becomes stuck to the glue ball. While stuck to the glue ball, they're restrained, and when the glue ball moves, they're carried along with it, sharing the glue ball's space. If the glue ball moves over an object that is not being worn or carried that weighs less than 200 pounds, it becomes stuck to the glue ball. Up to 1,000 pounds of creatures and items can be stuck to the glue ball at the same time. If the glue ball is full, additional creatures or items that it runs over do not become stuck in it. When you move the glue ball, you can send it over barriers up to 5 feet tall and jump it across pits up to 10 feet wide. The glue ball can't end its movement in a creature's space unless they're stuck to it. As an action, a creature that's stuck to the glue ball or another creature that can reach them can attempt to free the stuck creature. They must make an athletics check against your spell saving throw DC, and on a success, they're freed and are placed in the nearest unoccupied space. Creatures can also use their action to attempt to retrieve an object from the glue ball, making a strength check, an athletics check against your spell saving throw DC. On a success, the item is free and they can carry it or drop it at their feet. At higher levels, when you cast this spell using a slot of 5th level or higher, the glue ball becomes a 10-foot diameter sphere. Large and smaller creatures can become stuck in the bigger glue ball, and up to 4,000 pounds of creatures and items can become stuck in it. I don't care. This is going to be my favorite spell of all time.
Okay,
Yes.
so essentially you're saying that I walk into the field where the goblin camp is, and I make a giant rolling ball of death goblins.
Yep.
That I can use to propel more goblins.
Yep. You just go bowling. You go sticky goblin bowling.
Yes. And if you're
that's a shirt design.
Yes, I'm gonna put that on the list.
Yeah.
Sticky goblin. Yep.
Yep.
It's going right in
And
the.
there it is.
Here it is.
And there it is, a shirt for 2026.
I feel like it's more 2025, but I'll go with it.
Sticky goblin bowling.
If your verbal component is not la 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 la, you're doing it wrong.
Oh yeah. No, you need to absolutely have a robotic hymn of doom, like
Yeah.
as you're creating this
Oh god. That's
blob of glue and bodies.
No,
I
this needs to be cast by a hair folk character that's based. I mean, this is Bugs Bunny. This is classic Bugs Bunny.
I'm also just imagining the fun I could have with this when like your players are at the top of the mountain fighting something, and the gust of wind blows this down the mountain, and now it's
Yep.
just gaining speed.
Yep.
It's gaining speed every round. Like every
Yep.
turn of combat, you have not stopped this thing. It is picking up speed, force, and more things. And by the time it gets to town, it's just an avalanche of glue that takes the town with it. Welcome to the new BBEG that accidentally got formed when you're playing as Glue Ball at the top of the mountain.
You know what you do? You make this into something that is like it got rolled. It was used and then forgotten because it rolled off into some like kind of deserty area.
Oh,
And then nobody ever bothered to ask what happened with it. It had done its purpose. It, took out whatever they were trying to attack. But it just kept rolling and picking up desert creatures and murmurs and things. And over time, it becomes this. It gains sentience, kind of like a rat king.
oh my goodness. It becomes a genius loci of just pure glue. I support this. I I support, but the best part would be they tried to use Dimension Door and they tried to banish it to other realms using planar portals,
Hmm.
and all it did was roll through other planes and pick up stuff. So
Yep.
you just roll planar dice to see which planes it ran through and pick up stuff along the way.
it's New York City's trash from Futurama.
Yes.
And
They
it
Yes.
throw it
keeps.
into space, and then when it comes
Yep.
back, they make another one and throw that into space at it.
Mhm.
And you just when your people have to fight it, it's a BBEG. When your people roll in to fight it at different points when they do certain tiers of damage to it, some of the creatures are blown off, and
Oh
then
my
they have to
goodness.
fight those
Yes.
as minions in each round as you slowly eat away at this thing.
Well, I would even say you have to roll a morale check. And you have to see if the thing is pissed off enough that's just like, I didn't ask to be a part of this, I'll help you stop it. Or, God, I need to kill something because I'm finally free. That's
Yeah.
what you're rolling every turn.
Yep.
Oh, that would be hilarious. That would be the level of chaos I would
Yes,
support it.
the moon. It eventually grows a face, but it can't
Yep.
stop rolling. Maybe that's your quest. You have to stop. It's your people's god. It just like you live in like a valley, so it can't build up enough speed to get out of the valley.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
like
then all
people
of a
go
sudden
and
it
ask
falls in
it
the ocean.
boons. Oh, sorry.
No, I was gonna say it falls in the ocean and absolutely does not start card. No, just like the moon secretly a blow of glue, guys. That's the true secret of the moon. This guy figured it out. It was just a ball of glue the whole time,
Figured out your plan.
holding together eldritch creatures. Just
This is like the cute version of the creature that's like a million faces in one, and they're all screaming. This is the Monty Python version.
Yep.
yeah.
But I love that idea that like this is like the local deity like in the valley and people go and like leave it offerings. Like they just like throw stuff down onto it and it accumulates and they think that like if something good peels off of it, the boon has been granted, and if something bad peels off of it, they've been bad, but really it's just this thing has no control.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, hey, no, please stop throwing trash on me.
Yes.
It's like I get it, but like I need help.
Yeah.
And it turns out that like the deity's just buried under the trash. Like they really want out of the trash. But people keep being like, our god needs more trash.
Oh my god, it's the river spirit from Spirited Away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, yes.
That's all it really
just
is.
like-
It just wants someone to power wash it.
Yeah, it's like, hey, could you clean me? And they're like, it needs more trash.
Yeah.
This is great.
This is why, folks. Well, we're back.
We're back.
You are back. This is yes. This is what you
As
come
you
to
can
DM
see, we
Roundtable
have
for.
lost nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a beat has been missed. Nothing was skipped here.
This is already turning out to be a really good. We're only 2 spells in, and we've had fun so far. So this is a pretty good supplement.
Yeah.
We always have fun.
Things are even spelled right so far.
That's scary.
Yeah.
That's the part that we don't talk about. Things are properly spelled.
Okay.
That's where the fear sets in.
I'm gonna give DM Makara. I'm gonna give you Harpoon, but I just want to say that the Harpoon happened to be the first spell in here that I actually looked at, and I like just took a cursory glance over it, and I was like, "Yo, there's a Marvel character that does exactly this. Why can't I figure out his name?" And then I went and looked him up. His name is Harpoon.
That would have been my first guess. Yep.
That
I was so mad. I was like, "God damn it!"
harpoon. It's like, yo, what's that guy whose power the harpoon's name? You mean Harpoon?
No, I meant the other one.
Oh, you mean Spear? Damn it!
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Alright, so let's do Harpoon. 3rd level conjuration, 1 action, 60 feet, all the usual stuff. You need an arrowhead. That is inaccurate, but that's fine. A fishhook would have been better.
Fishhook would have been way better.
It is concentration up to a minute. You hurl a sleek barbed harpoon at a creature within range. Hush, AWOLs. Make a ranged spell attack. On a hit, the target takes 3d10 piercing damage and is harpooned. That's good damage.
Yeah.
A harpooned creature can't move more than 60 feet away from you. As a bonus action, you can reel them in, forcing the target to make a strength saving throw. On a failure, they take 1d10 piercing damage, and you can pull them up to 30 feet toward you. As an action, the harpooned creature or another creature that can reach them can make a strength check against your spell saving throw DC to remove the harpoon. On a success, they take 1d10 piercing damage, and the harpoon is removed. On a failure, they just take the damage, but it's not removed.
Oh.
Like,
So you just have a harpoon stuck.
yeah.
Yep.
This is one of the only spells that I've seen, or just actions and what have you, that's like, oh, when I reel this person in by a hook, it hurts them. And I'm like, yeah, I don't understand these ones. Are you pulling like really, really gently? So I'm pretty sure if someone's got like a spike in them and you pull on it, it gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, question, because I don't remember this, even though I have, we have an Artificer in the party, but
True.
have not needed to look at their character sheet in a while. Artificers are not
Always a
usually
nice feeling.
What's that?
That's a nice feeling.
No, it's because they never show up.
That's true.
That's not a nice feeling.
less nice feeling.
Yeah. Artificers are not usually a strength build, right?
No.
Right. Usually
I didn't think so.
int.
Right, that's what I would have expected. So, I mean, so them having to make an athletics check to remove the harpoon is not great, because chances are whatever you're harpooning is probably stronger than you. But other than that, I like this spell.
I just wanna get over here. Okay, I will give you guys a little preview that I'm currently going through the Tome of Mystical Tattoos, and eventually I'll make a video on it. But one of the tattoos in it is a tattoo of an emblem of chains on your chest, and you can do get over here with it. But the chains have to go down your arm so that they can come out. And I was like, why are the chains not on your arms? That makes no sense.
Yeah, doing it on your chest makes it seem more like it's some sort of like warlock binding thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I like that more.
Yeah, I do also like that. I think that would be a very cool thing for a patron to mark their warlocks with that.
I was like, what do you mean? And then there's another one that like makes your mind powerful, but it's like on your nipple. And I was like, huh?
What?
Why is it not on your head? What is going on, you weirdos?
Why is it there? That doesn't make. That concerns me.
Is that where you think brains are?
From? Yeah.
Yeah, I have questions now.
I mean, I've heard thinking with different parts of the body, but that is not one of them.
Yeah, I was like, huh? Why are you
That's
here?
supposed to work.
But yes,
We
eventually we'll
gotta
get to that.
down.
But I like Harpoon. I love more things that have a get over here component. Also, the fact that like this person just can't get away is even better.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta. I'm just imagining this person, like if it's a monk, they're running really, really fast, but they can't exceed that 60 feet. So they're just like spinning around you in a circle.
Again, Bugs Bunny.
True, 100% true.
Yeah.
This is the unofficial Bugs Bunny spell list.
When you want to play Bugs Bunny in a campaign?
Who would like to take Rocket?
Well, naturally, anything explosive sounds fun. Rocket, and again, I want to point out that this is, again, these are items that I would just make into tools that, so hear me out. You make a non-casting artificer who, instead of casting his tools, builds them completely the old-fashioned way, has no spells, all tech. You go all tech with this guy, and he can build these things. These are just various things that he builds as his spells per turn that he can use. I see the potential, because Rocket says that with an action at the range of touch and a rolled up paper and a pinch of sulfur. What? That's it?
Rolled up paper and a pinch of sulfur. I'm just imagining like you're rolling a blunt, but
yeah, that's exactly what I thought this guy is doing. Are you smoking this? Okay.
There's other spells where they use brimstone or bitumen or something that would be actually appropriate as rocket fuel. At least more is thematically appropriate.
Yeah.
Now here we just need a rocket with some paper and some sulfur.
Does Snoop make like it's your character Snoop Dogg?
Snoop is the ultimate artificer. Because he could touch a willing creature, magically constructing a large rocket that attaches itself to their body. Okay, so this is Looney Tunes.
It's
The creature
Looney Tunes.
must be size large or smaller. When you cast the spell, the target can use their reaction to fire the rocket to rapidly propel themselves across the battlefield. When the rocket is fired, a 15-foot cone of fire emanates from the target in the direction of their choosing, and the target moves up to 90 feet in a straight line. Creatures in the cone make a dex saving throw. On failure, taking 3d6 fire damage. And during this rocket momentum, creatures have disadvantage on opportunity attacks made against them. On their turn, the target can use their action to fire the rocket again. Up to 4 times. And on the 4th time, the spell ends. You can also use the spell to attach a rocket to an unwilling creature, size large or smaller. They make a dex saving throw, and on a failure, the rocket fires as described, but you choose the direction the cone of fire emanates in. The target moves 90 feet in the opposite direction of the cone. and if the movement is blocked by an obstacle such as a wall, the target's movement stops when they hit, and they take 66 bludgeoning damage. After firing once, the rocket is destroyed. If
This
used
is
way.
Looney Tunes. You
This is
joke,
true.
but this is Looney Tunes. I love this.
I mean, again, I love the artwork. So definitely a Magic the Gathering card, Secret Lair card. I think that's Fling actually. So, or maybe one of the other spells that actually holds rocket. Either way, this spell. Okay, if you're not sneaking up to use this on the back of an enemy unsuspectingly, I don't want to hear it.
Also, I'm just gonna say that you could slam them into a wall, Looney Tunes, sure, or you could just shoot them straight up.
Yeah. Yeah.
66
so
for
wily coyote.
96.
Mhm.
And I think it's more Looney Toony if you shoot them straight up. And you have to,
Ooh, well-
whoever the DM is, they have to be like, yo! As they go up.
Yeah, no, you
Yeah.
need to have full sound effect, or else it doesn't read.
It's yeah.
I love this spell too. When you said build an item, I was like, oh, in my campaign, when my players got to the Forge of Spells, I let them make things. Is Grimbo still in the chat? Well, I can't tell. He might not have us as the active window. His character has trouble making things, but our two sorcerers don't have very much trouble making things. It just has to be related to what their bloodline is. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But Bako he was like, I want boots that let me go faster if I put them on, and I basically made rocket boots for him. And they have in the past been like, oh, we need to get someplace, so DM Bacon's character will stand on Grimjack's shield and turn on the rocket boots to get to an angle that he wouldn't be able to normally.
Yep. Oh, like 7 league boots, kind of.
Yeah.
Mm.
Actually, I don't know if Bako's still wearing those boots because he has a magic broom now. I don't know if he gave the boots to somebody. I gotta look at somebody's sheet. I think somebody has those boots on, and it's not Bako because he don't need them.
Mm.
Would you like
I
to
want to
take?
make a pair of.
Oh,
Sorry.
no, go.
I want to make a pair of magic boots that, if they're not used often enough, start just randomly turning themselves on.
I love everything about what you just said.
It's one of those things you just roll for. Nobody knows what you're rolling. And then you're like, hey, so and so. Guess what?
Yeah, the boots are just upset.
Yeah. More ascension items. We're always down for more ascension items.
Mm-hmm.
I also just love the idea of items that just get sick and tired of being not used.
Yep. So no one reads their character sheet.
Yep. To be honest, listen, in your last session, when our wizard said, I said to someone, can you give me powers to turn into an animal like a druid? And our wizard said, you already turned into an animal. And I like, me and my character both were like, oh, I've never gone full animal. Never even thought about it. Not even once. Didn't even, nope. Thought never occurred to me. So I guess I can't say shit.
Yeah, you said that, and I was like, is this a joke? Like, I made you into a were-deer.
Nope, never even thought about it.
I need to try to kill you guys more often.
Now you're talking.
So I was talking to Dex on the phone earlier, and he goes, listen, I've only been at your table for like 5 sessions, but I would like to help TPK your party.
There's a friend in need.
Yeah, that is what I'm talking about. Listen, friends don't let friends keep their players alive.
I was gonna say friends don't let friends run a bad table, but
That's how you help them thin the herd. You help the table learn about natural selection and how their characters just wouldn't make it.
well, I don't usually throw monsters at this party because frankly we only run for like 2.5 hours, like once to twice a month. So there's really not time to do big colossal battles without boring everyone to tears. But I did throw a baby kraken at them last time, and I thought that would be enough to at least drop somebody. But despite the fact that the resident bard decided that the best way to deal with the kraken was to teleport himself into the kraken and start heating up the metal in its belly, he didn't even die.
Listen. I was just as surprised as you were that he. I was like, you what now? Okay, I'm not gonna stop you, but like,
He was
okay.
like, I'm gonna ask Karaxi to teleport me into the thing's belly. I'm like, interesting way to die. Okay, go for it.
Dumb ways to die.
Yeah.
I'm like, did you just decide you didn't want to fight this battle? You were just going for the end result? Like,
Pretty much. Pretty much, it's just like, hey, I think I'm gonna skip to the inevitable outcome.
and you know what? He did more damage than anybody else.
Yep. Yep.
That's how it always happens. That's exactly how it always happens too.
Oh, I should have made it full grown.
You should have.
But that kraken could read, so that's all my character cared about.
It couldn't read.
In his head canon.
Yeah, it talked about a
kraken
book,
could
so my character was like, "Damn, that dude can read. That's crazy." And now I ask every animal I meet, "Can you read?"
Yes, it's become its own thing.
Oh,
And
no.
I can't get away from it because the book that it was talking about is central to the plot of the entire campaign.
Oh no.
So now it just follows me around.
Oh my God! When we get our hands on that book, I'm gonna show it to every animal.
Oh my God.
Oh yes!
Oh.
Who wants to take supercharge?
I'll take it.
Okay.
Let's see what we got. Also, 3rd level transmutation, 1 action touch, VSM, a copper wire, and a jar of acid worth at least 50 gold pieces, which the spell consumes. There we go. That is an appropriate material.
Yeah, that makes
component.
sense.
Yeah. Finally.
Yeah. Concentration, up to a minute. You affix a crackling arcane battery onto a willing creature you can reach, temporarily empowering them. You can increase the target's strength or dexterity score by 6, and they ignore the effects of the paralyzed, poisoned, and stunned conditions. The conditions are not removed, and creatures can still gain them while affected by this spell, but their effects are suppressed for the duration of the spell. Okay. Also quite Looney Tunes, but that's not crazy.
I was thinking, where does this battery go? And I was like, well, the Looney Tunes one is obviously it's going up someone's butt.
I'm not surprised. That's where that went. I'm not.
And he meant your thoughts, not
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I absolutely did read your thoughts on that one.
That's another moment. I feel like by 6 is a lot, but you're probably going to use this in combat, most likely. And, like, realistically, how much is that going to improve you?
Yeah.
True.
Well, I mean, Dex by 6.
It doesn't say
Could
it
be.
can't go over 20. That's the only part where I'm like, I wish it said can't go over 20.
Nope, it's just that strong. You can get a 25.
That's an insane level of strength.
Yeah.
I might add if it goes over 20, when it runs out, you get a level of exhaustion. That's the only thing I can think of. Because you just became superhuman for a little while.
That would be, yeah.
Oh, you're absolutely superhuman.
You're a bug. I don't know what that is. That's not actually a bugbear. It could be a bugbear.
Looks like a bugbear.
It's a big boy. But I like being the Flash. That's fine. Apparently 6 in your butt. 6 strength or dexterity right in your butt.
Hmm.
I also feel like you have to... I get that, like, it's crackling from somewhere. I feel like this is one of those times where you gotta be like... You gotta ask your character, ask your player how they want, like, the outward signs of this happening to them. Like, this is the perfect time for flavor. Like, is it coming out of your eyes so people can see it? Like, is it by your feet or your hands, depending on whether you went for dexterity or strength? Tell me what your character's experiencing right now as they've suddenly become potentially a superhuman, or whatever race you are.
Battery crackles.
True. I get. Says you a fix, but I'm like, what if you just like pull the back of their shirt open and drop it in?
That could be fun.
I mean, it has to be willing, but still, you could be like, here, I'm gonna give you a power up, or you like, don't worry, babe, I'll give you a power up, and you like pull the fucking like waist of their pants open, and you throw the battery in there.
That's wild.
How Looney Tunes can I make this?
I think it does a great job by itself. I think you're just I think you just done a great job of assisting a process already in motion. I will say that the one thing about this spell that I don't like is literally like, what if the person can't accept a battery? Like, what if you're made of energy already?
Ooh, interesting. Does the like the form of the battery change based on your form?
Right.
I like this. We're on the same wavelength on like where does it go? Because I feel like if you stuck a battery into someone's flesh, that's gonna hurt. You know what I mean?
I would hope it does.
Maybe you throw it in their mouth? I don't know. You're right. It needs like a hole.
I just need to know, where the hell is this battery going? That's all I want to know.
Maybe if you have long hair, you tie it into like a braid.
No, I think that's what you do with the next one.
The vacuum tube?
Vacuum tube.
Okay.
I think you braid your hair with the vacuum tube.
I'll take vacuum tube. 3rd level conjuration. 1 action. Range of 60 feet. Verbal somatic material components. You need a glass tube. That makes sense. Duration concentration up to 1 minute. A crackling line of magical impulse measuring 5 feet in width and 30 feet in length manifests in an area you choose within range. You can place the line in any orientation. When you place the line, you designate one end to be the input and the other end to be the output. The line can't overlap or pass through terrain features, such as a brick wall or hillside. When a creature starts their turn within 15 feet of the input or moves into that area for the first time on their turn, they must make a strength saving throw. On a failure, they're sucked into the line, expelled on the other end, the nearest unoccupied space to the output, and knocked prone. As a bonus action on your turn, you can change which end of the line is the input and which is the output. All I'm imagining, at first I was like, oh, obviously I'm setting the output to be off a cliff. But instead, I was like, no. I've come to this village of like goblins, maybe kobolds, but usually kobolds are pretty smart. I'm just using goblins because they're generally pretty dumb. Like, you come to the village, you make this line, and you just keep sucking them up from one end to the other end of the village, just back and forth, and like that's your form of torture, because they're not strong enough to not get sucked up, and they have no idea what's happening. They're just like, what? Make it stop!
Okay.
You're having too much crazy fun. I don't know.
This is great. I love this Looney Tunes supplement. This is fantastic. I like everything in here so far.
Yeah, this is great.
We're on to fourth levels, though.
Nutty. Yeah, and coming into fourth levels, you've got Anchor. Again, keeping up with the Looney Tune, you need a lead weight at a range of 120 feet, and an enormous lead weight appears, which is magically tethered to a creature you can see within range, forcing them to make a strength saving throw, and on failure, they reduce their speed to 0, and if airborne, they fall immediately. The target or another creature that can reach them can use their action to make a strength check with a DC equal to your spell saving throw, ending the effect on a success. I want this to happen, though, not on action, but on reaction.
Yes.
I want someone to Sparta kick something off of something, and someone to reaction cast Anchor. And just...
Ooh. Also, the fact that even if they can hover, that they still get nailed to the floor is crazy. Because that is literally all that hover means. You can't fall to the floor.
Just imagine this against, like, Curse of Strahd. He's floating above you. He's floating above you, talking shit, and your Artificer's just like, oh, I got something for you. Oh. Wham! Flicks
Anchor followed up by Rocket.
Right. Anchor? Oh my god. Rocket Anchor.
Yep.
Oh my god.
You catch them with Rocket, and you're like, you're about to use your last boost, and you're like, I'm not gonna, and then you're like, ah, I'm in range, and then they just start falling. You're like, ha 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 ha.
Wait, did Rocket say you can't place more than one?
Technically, your first turn, since the first person can use it as a reaction, you can then action it, so you could boost twice first turn, and then once the next 2 turns.
You slap a rocket on someone
Thanks
that
for the
has
follow.
a flight speed. You slap it onto someone who doesn't care, like a monk who can fall regardless.
Ooh,
Slap another one on the enemy. You let the monk grapple. You boost with one, and then the monk fires you even further up, only to use Anchor and watch you drop from the sky.
Oh,
You
but Rocket is
literally-
concentration.
Damn it.
So you need 2 Artificers.
You need to Artificers.
Yeah, we'll just change the team makeup to make sure that this works. Yes, I love it.
What you thought was going to be an issue for us, to us just simply seemed like a very simple solution. We need more Artificers. Oh, the problem can't be solved by one. Good thing we got another one right here.
Please, sir, may I have another?
But can I just say that it's exactly this kind of nonsensical shit is exactly why I limit Artificers to certain scales of game. Because this is exactly what I would do as an artificer, and I know I couldn't control this much chaos. So I
And
have
like,
to limit
you
to limit.
best believe I'm making a boat anchor. I don't care if I'm doing it to a ship or a person. It's gonna be visually as a
No,
boat anchor.
Yeah.
I'm buying random paperweight, absolute random paperweights from all across the land.
Oh yeah. Oh, you play it up like it's your hobby, like it's your character's
Mm-hmm.
flavor, and you don't whip the spell out for a while, and then you roll it out, and that's what is hanging off of it.
People won't know what to do.
I feel like the next one, I don't know how they're gonna make it Looney Tunesy because I just feel like it's like by default Looney Tunesy. Oh no.
Bless you, child.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Oh. Who wants to take bomb?
Lacara, I know in your heart of hearts, he will do this justice.
Oh, you know, in my heart of hearts, I just want to blow things up.
Yeah, that's really what it is.
Bomb, 4th level conjuration, 1 action, range is 5 feet. Components, verbal somatic material, a pinch of sulfur. Duration 1 minute. You rapidly construct a potent explosive device. When you cast this spell, you decide how many rounds, 1 to 10, pass before the bomb explodes. The bomb explodes at the end of your turn on the round that it detonates. The bomb weighs 20 pounds and is tiny in size. That is hefty.
Yeah.
Why is it so heavy and so small? When the bomb explodes, all creatures within 20 feet make a dex saving throw. On a failure, they take 8d8 thunder damage and are pushed 20 feet away. On a success, they take half as much damage. The bomb deals double damage to structures.
Ah.
This is the second thing recently that I have looked at that dealt with damage to structures, and I'm like, I'm not getting into that.
Here's the thing. I treat damage to structures in scale of what the hell does it do? If you
Right.
tell me that it's an explosion and it hits the wall, well, guess what? It probably took out the wall. It probably took
Yeah.
out like that's just
I'm fine with saying, you know, it's cracked, it looks unstable, or parts of the building are starting to fall on you, but I am not dealing I was looking at the tsunami spell last week, and I'm like, it's like, it does X number of points of damage to it, like, per turn or whatever, and if the building falls to 0 HP, I'm like, I'm not doing HP for buildings.
Yeah, no, it's not happening. And like,
No.
I'm happy to say I don't have the players because I know that this comes up where people are like, I can't get through the door. How much health does the wall next to it have? Like, I'm so happy my players don't do that. But I know there are tables that do. And I'm like, just break it, man. Like, it's either broken or it's not. I'm not managing its health.
Well,
yeah.
it's made out of stone, so your shoulder's probably not the best option.
Yeah.
That's what you're
Right.
gonna get out of me.
Right. Like, hey, you're not built to do this.
Yeah.
So probably shouldn't try.
But at least this is just double. There are some tattoos in the Tome of Mystical Tattoos that are like, oh, one of them, when you do a thing, it makes feathers appear. And at the end of the spell, the tattoo description, it's like, oh, as your action, you can use up all the feathers that you've created during this spell, and this spell does 6 times as much damage as the feathers that are out there. And I was like, no, nobody is doing that math. Do you know? Nobody is here to do more math. Stop it.
Some people really do think there are.
I feel like this spell should scale. I mean, I get the point of, like, you know, setting the fuse for however much time you want to go by, but I feel like it should also be stronger the longer
100%.
you leave it.
That's why I thought they were putting the timer on it.
Me too.
And I was like, oh. And like, okay, we know that Fireball doing 8d6 damage as a 3rd level spell is a joke because it's more powerful than everything else. So like this doing 8d8 seems kind of weak in comparison, but also like I get they're clearly going, they want to be Bomberman. Like I get, which is also kind of Looney Tunesy in and of itself. It's a whole universe where everyone just leaves bombs behind.
Yeah, whipping out a. Also, I feel like for a 4th level spell, creating something that you could also just buy.
Yeah.
True.
I said this earlier that these all feel like items that you should just be able to acquire.
Yeah, I don't want to burn a 4th level spell for this, especially as a half-caster.
Yeah. That is probably my one concern, is that you are burning a whole lot of resource for something that you, as someone who is intelligent, which is the one thing about the Artificer they don't lean enough into. They're intelligent enough to cast spells, but not necessarily build spell items, non-magical magic items.
Yeah. I mean, to me, an Artificer is somebody that builds a physical bomb and just has it as part of their kit, but then can cast a spell on it to make it do cold damage instead or something.
Yeah. Or they can literally build an oil bomb and then set it off with their magic. They have an ignite cantrip.
Yeah.
I 100% agree.
Basically, we just want you to make
Artificer
stuff. Artifice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a simple request.
That's true. I don't think I've ever seen an well, that's not entirely true. Our Artificer did like actually sit down and spend downtime tinkering with stuff to like rewire tools and stuff like that. It's the only time I have seen an Artificer played where they're actually doing their trade at any point.
I cannot I cannot stand like the idea. Downtime is in the game for a reason. I hate that like there are players and tables that are like, I just do this thing. Like there's so many tattoos in the mystical tome of tattoos that are like, oh yeah, this thing happens for you. And I'm like, just like tattoos in general in 5e, the way they're implemented. Like someone draws it, it gets sucked into a needle, and then you put that needle against your skin. And the whole idea of the tome of mystical tattoos is that like you can put a tattoo on someone, but everyone has like the same 150 tattoos or so in the world, and they're just like sucking them off one another and putting them on someone else. I'm like, I don't think you understand the point of getting a tattoo, like a permanent marking. That ain't how it works.
What's up?
Hi.
Hello.
How's it going?
We're in Looney Tunes land today.
Yeah.
Looney Tunes land?
Yeah.
It's a set of Artificer spells that are actually just Wile E. Coyote, basically.
Yeah, basically.
In a good way, for the most part.
Yeah, so far,
in a good way.
Only the Bomberman one has been like, meh, because like you could just make a bomb.
Yeah, I think we were just saying that a lot of these feel like a little underwhelming to burn a spell slot of this caliber on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it feels like things that, as an artificer, you should be able to build or make.
I see.
Like, I think artificer, I think a little steampunky or like a little bit like goblin artificer building bombs out of crude material and slapping stuff together. Not so much them having to cast spells, which again is nothing wrong with it, but like you said before, it's to supplement or enhance, not necessarily perform the whole action.
Yeah, an Artificer is a tinkerer who's replaced their duct tape with some magic.
Is that like Wizards of the Coast? Like I think I was done with 5e before the Artificer was like sort of real.
Mm. The
I remember it
flavor
being a magic
box
thing
is
too.
like you could flavor all of these things as not being magic, but I'm sure most people just skipped over the flavor box.
Yeah, gotcha. I guess their version is that it's magic, right? Like,
Mm.
which
Right,
I
but
guess
like,
for their like world building or something. I don't know if I like
well,
that.
in 5e,
Yeah.
in the like actual text for the Artificer, it says that like their stuff is called infusions. They're like the magic that they
Mm.
can do. It is supposed to be that they build things on their own and then kind of imbue it with some sort of magical effect afterwards.
Forgive
And this
me,
is
I
yeah.
feel like they don't trust living people to do that, and instead it says these
Mm.
effects are like magic user spells.
Yeah.
So this is just giving you magic user spells to like base your homebrew off. You know what I mean?
Mhm,
It's like
mhm.
Mhm.
someone's official version of that unofficial thing, I think, right?
Basically.
That's it's like when people make a wish spell, there's like all these like standard wishes that never
Mhm.
go wrong, right? And it's like someone making their own list of that kind of thing. It's like start here. I don't know. I don't think it's what I would do, but
I think everyone here at DM Roundtable is on the same page when it comes to artificers and all kinds of spells like that. Like, yeah, I mean, is a spell, but like we're gonna flavor it as probably not a spell.
I
Yeah.
feel like Artificer is like a very specific thing. It's like it's where, like Aaron just mentioned, feeling like a goblin scrapping things together, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
And there's also like the university mage, academy mage that like has access to a lot of material, right? And
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
there's like all different headcanons of what an artificer is, and you either make a class that supports all the headcanons or you decide which one is canon.
Mm.
Mm.
Yep.
I like that.
And I do think that there is something to, if you introduce, I know you brought up for your campaign a few times, like certain people want for artificers to just exist.
Mm. Mm.
It is time. It is time based. It takes time. These things, if they're not common, if you're not in a world full of, you know, artificers, then these kind of things I think take a lot of time. And you kind of have to accept that. Like, it's not just going to happen because you blinked and said so.
Yeah. And it really does have to fit in your world. Like I have them in mind because ours is like vaguely like just pre-industrial steampunky kind of flavored in the more advanced parts of the planet. So that works. Like our artificer
Mm.
was part of the town watch and he was in charge of all of their armaments and armor and stuff. They sent him to school for that. That makes sense. If you've got some kind of like ancient high magic world, you're not going to have an artificer.
Or it might look different, you know? It might
Mm.
take a
Yeah.
different form,
Yeah, like
right?
I don't not have artificers. It's just where we are on the Sword Coast. There's only like one subset of artificers, and they haven't left where they live because dwarves keep trying to kill them for no reason. Like they just chill there, and they don't like talking to people because usually when they talk to people, someone tries to steal from them. So like they're pretty insulated, and it's not like this particular player who's in the chat right now doesn't have access to that village. He can totally go there and learn from them, but he's not going to figure it out from not visiting them.
No, you have to interact.
Yeah, I sort of feel a similar way. I like to offer the base classes off the rip, but as we play the game, you might find yourself in a whole other place with whole other people. Someone dies or you recruit new characters. You can recruit from those new types of people, right? New characters from the new places you go. You end up with all sorts of non-vanilla, non-standard classes. But we don't make them always off the rip. It depends on your game, right? I like to offer the vanilla ones and have my was it Emmons Field 5, if that's a reference that goes over anyone's head, I'm sorry. And then that expands into this larger world and you meet like fucking pirates from other nations and right, like you have fucking elementals and you have all this other shit, and suddenly the party is now far beyond their own kin and having all types of crazy shit. I like that sort of story, so that's what I do, and I like to like geographically compartmentalize a lot of that.
That makes sense.
So if I have artificers, they just aren't from the beginning, you know? They just aren't where you are when it starts. You might eventually meet some artificer joins the party, right? Like that's possible.
Yeah. And I think I like that. I like that as a style of play too, because it promotes players to ask questions and investigate when like they discover. It almost feels like old school, like older video games. Not to compare it to a video game, but like in the way where like you got to that town and you unlock that class. It's very much like, hey, you unlocked, you know, the barbarian because you found and helped out this weird group of wild people who wear scant clothing, and then you found out, oh yeah, they're a barbarian that, you know, that's the class they are, and you're like, hey, could I be a barbarian from that clan? Absolutely. Absolutely, you've met them.
And it's also just like, because it's a collaborative storytelling game, it's so cool that we can start adding those things in if someone brings up like, oh, that's really cool, I would love to take a look at that. Like, because we're making the game as we go, we get a chance to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Do you want to take decoy clubs?
Me? Let me see here. Decoy is a 4th level conjuration spell with a casting time of 1 action, a range of self, verbal, somatic, and material components. I can't see what's under the, because I'm just looking at the stream. A wooden what? A wooden, can someone read those words?
A wooden, hold on.
It's blocked on the Twitch.
I will check in. My bad. That's my bad. My mouse is freaking out, so I'm like, I'm going to put you down.
I can't see it.
A wooden puppet fashioned in your likeness.
Oh, okay. A wooden puppet fashioned in your likeness. You know, I should have guessed that.
I was looking at the description. I was like, I don't see it.
Yeah. Concentration up to 1 minute, I guess, is the full thing. You create a mechanical copy of you. I can't read that. Of yourself that is, I'm guessing, visually indistinguishable from you. The decoy appears, I'm guessing, in the closest unoccupied space to you where you are. When you move or take actions, the copy mimics you, moving in equal distance to your movement. While the decoy copies your movement, it can't actually perform any actions. The decoy matches copies your speech and gestures as you speak and act. You control where the decoy moves, but can only send it places you are familiar with or can see. When you cast a spell or make an attack, the decoy produces a visual and auditory illusion, such as a firebolt or magic missile, that is identical to the genuine spell. A creature can use their action to make an intelligence investigation check against your spell DC to determine which version of you is genuine. Which version of you? Oh, yourself, right, because the decoy. Okay. The decoy has 50 hit points, and its AC equals your spell save DC.
That's pretty strong, actually.
Yeah.
This is a very interesting vibe for an artificer to have a spell that just like poops out a mechanical copy of you.
Right.
It is a very specific flavor of artificer. It's like machine wizard,
Mm-hmm.
clockwork wizard, right? Something like that. It's definitely not the flavor I have in my head of artificer, but it's interesting. That's that headcanon shit. Interesting.
The only part that I'm confused about is it says it mimics whatever you do, but then you control where the decoy moves. So then, does that mean you can tell it to go somewhere else?
No, I think it just means it's doing what you're doing.
Because I'm like, places you're familiar with. So, like, I can send this guy off on a journey, and I'm like, he only lasts a minute. He's going to stop after it won't be very long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's acquired his goal. He's reached his goal. He gets to where he has to go, and he's just like, all right, cool. Gotta go now. But it definitely does, again, come with the flavoring of, okay, that's how my table is. Like, this is the kind of world that we live in. Because otherwise, this definitely doesn't work, or it seems weird.
Like a wooden puppet in your likeness. You cast a magic spell, and it becomes a mechanical copy of you. It's obviously magic. It is not tinkering.
I feel like
Yeah.
It's one action.
I feel like
It's
the
just
only
not-
way to flavor this as tinkering is that you've developed basically PIM particles. So like you made this tiny action figure, and when you cast the spell, it just like whoop 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 gets taller.
Yeah, but then that requires you. But then, if you're doing that at 4th level, and that's the best you're doing,
Yeah.
you feel like it introduces, I feel like, a weird vortex that doesn't make sense.
I mean, you
Unless
could
you
also
really.
just.
Sorry, go on.
No, it's okay. Go first.
No, I was just gonna say unless you really like that flavor.
Right.
Yeah.
Micronauts.
I mean, you
yeah.
could also. you could just pick up the magic initiate feat and get like one of the illusion spells.
True.
There you go.
Yeah.
Which
I
I
don't know.
believe are lower level.
I guess
Yeah.
this is like what someone really wants. You know, this is like
Yeah.
what I need or want for my game sort of thing. I don't know. I think more of like wrenches.
Yeah.
Than,
I'm gonna like the way that this is written, just because it's a wooden puppet and not like a metal puppet or a plastic puppet or what have you. I feel like this might also work for druids.
Yeah. If it's gonna be a wooden puppet, why not? But then it kind of feels almost like a substitution jutsu.
Yeah,
in
that's
Naruto.
exactly what I was thinking.
And I'm not sure that's really.
Well, I guess technically it's Bunshin. It's just straight up Bunshin, except it won't turn into gas. It'll turn into wood.
Again, it's not. I don't think it's the exact maneuver I was going for at first, because I do think that a lot of this does get better
Use
when
plastique.
you. Huh? Oh. But I feel like this would be so much better in a sense where this is given to a character that isn't using this as magic, but it's literally building these things. Because especially when you get to the next item, the next spell, I should say, it definitely feels like, yeah, you know what? You should be doing this with building, not magic.
Yeah.
It's a very simple spell. I'll jump to it.
Take girders.
Just like, yeah, girders. It's an action. It's 60 feet. It requires an iron triangle, very specific. And you summon 4 20-foot long, 1-foot thick steel girders, each of which you can place anywhere you can see within range. They remain magically fixed, have an AC of 20, 100 hit points, and are resistant to non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing, and can support up to 10,000 pounds of weight. So again, why am I using my ability to cast magic
Mm-hmm.
to build girders?
It does. It is interesting. It's like a fucking. There's like absolutely no scarcity of resources in this world. There's like not for anyone. You just like fucking blink out whatever you need. Like steel beams, spell.
Yeah.
The economy is in shambles.
Steel beams.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, you're absolutely not in a world where resources are scarce.
Imagine
There's
a building
familiar
collapses
bugbear.
in that world. They'd be like, dude, how?
Yeah.
You're like, but bro, the steel beams.
Your players will be like, how? You'll be like, the building collapses. You'll be like, dude, this is stupid. What a fucking railroad.
Right? Well, especially when you have a world where you can summon 10,000 steel girders that just support 10,000 pounds.
Yeah, this is a
this
bit
this
ridiculous.
level of like civilization makes me feel like someone summons, they get a whole bunch of artificers around, they all summon the girders, and then like someone comes in and time stops so that other people can work on the girders. Like it just seems so far advanced compared to everybody else. Like
Very advanced.
girders versus ball storm. Like come on, man.
No, you know what it is? The artificers have a union, so every day they come in, a whole row of them all along the railroad tracks just disappear at night, and they come in the morning. They each cast girders. There's your railroad for the day,
My
and then it
God.
disappears again at night.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, why not?
I support it.
I-
I support it. I don't want to, but I do.
I was trying to think like tactically. I mean, I guess you put 4 of them, like stack them up, but they're only 4 feet high, so like normal sized characters can probably climb over them
They're only 4 feet high.
because they're 1 foot thick. So like if you stack them on top of each other, I was like, you could make a wall, but you probably wouldn't. I guess if you stood them up would be better, like block the front of a doorway, so for 10 minutes ain't nobody getting in. But
That's
Or to
ridiculous.
like stop an avalanche that's bearing down on you.
So weird.
That's a ridiculous one to me. I can't help but laugh.
does that mean
Thank you for
it says you can place them anywhere? Is it Looney Tunes and they just fall from the sky? Like, are you dropping them on people?
This
Yeah.
whole thing is Looney Tunes.
That's the only Looney Tunes like application of the girders I can think of. You just drop them on people.
We keep saying that, but I think there's some merit to the Looney Tunes in some way.
Oh
Like,
yeah, for
people
sure, for
like
sure.
to I don't want to poop on anyone's fucking poop because that's kind of what it is. But
I don't want to poop on the poop,
but people are into poop.
It's true.
Like, there's people out there that are fucking into poop, and I don't want to shame them for it. I just don't want poop myself.
I don't blame
That's
you.
fair. That's very fair. But okay, if
I'm
you have like
sorry.
a super strong
Yes,
creature,
that's
like a
my-
Tarask or something, that's picking up the girders and using them like baseball bats, sure.
But again, that's a very specific vibe.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's about to get worse. We're on to 5th level.
Hell yeah.
Do you want to tell us about the drill?
Hmm.
Damacar?
No, I want launch. I already know I want launch.
Of course you do. I'll take
yeah.
drill then.
These are
Drill.
correct.
5th level transmutation, 1 action, 60 feet, verbal somatic materials, a brass screw, duration instantaneous. Your hands and feet merge and transform into an enormous adamantine drill. That's very specific. Coming from a brass screw, you are just ruining the economy. And you can immediately burrow up to 60 feet. You can burrow through any material with a hardness equal to or lesser than non-magical stone. When you move, you can decide to leave a cleared tunnel behind you measuring 5 feet in diameter. Otherwise, your path fills in with loose gravel or soil. You can move through enemy creatures' spaces during the movement. If you do, each creature whose space you move through must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failure, they take 4d12 force damage. If you move through a structure, it takes twice as much damage. I don't know how many of you have enemies that hide underground, like besides a bullet or anything like that.
An Onkeg.
Onkeg, that does make sense. I guess technically part of a purple worm could be underground too. But I like the idea of you becoming Mulch Diggums. I'm 100% gonna make sure that to keep with the Artemis Fowl lore, if you're burrowing through this way, you're gonna have to clear all the gases via farting as you go. Okay, I'm gonna make you have to. You can't not. But making yourself an adamantite, that's insane.
I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't stay. It's just to let you use it.
True, but like, I just feel like
It's magic.
I feel like the Artificer using this as a scab, and I hate him.
Well, also, it's also kind of crazy because, like, if you're a DM, right, and you're allowing this in your game, if you play the game, please don't do this. This is not something I think anyone should do. You should
Grab
absolutely
people.
read what the hell your player wants to put in your game. But if you're like, yeah, this can't be that, you read through some of these, you're like, this doesn't seem that harmful. You got to understand, you're also saying that essentially this player is aware of and has the full capability to introduce adamantine into your game.
Yeah, that's sort of the stuff that bothers me. It's not like how powerful is it. It's just like the flavor doesn't. It's not the same flavor as the game we're playing, or
Yeah,
that
like,
I'm.
I
right?
now have adamantine in this game
Yeah,
because
it's tough.
it's a weird thing, and it's a very specific, I guess, like, I don't want to call it peeve, because it's not a peeve per se. It's more like a, huh.
Wait, I just realized your hands and feet merge and transform. So, are you position-wise? Are you like hog-tied, and then it's your hands and feet together that form the drill? So you're spinning on the end, but the position you're in is hog-tied, and I love that.
It's so bad.
Also, I just realized this is one of the only ones that's not concentration. So you just get those 60 feet. So that's it.
Oh yeah. 60 feet or bust.
60 feet or smother yourself underground.
Really the only options you have.
Or the steel ball. But like everybody has ball bearings. They even had like ball bearings like I almost I wanted to say Da Vinci, but I almost said DiCaprio. Even Da Vinci had ball bearings at the time, I'm pretty sure. I almost said DiCaprio.
Ball bearing.
You hurt me.
Well, unhurt yourself.
Yeah, unhurt yourself at launch, please.
5th level invocation. 1 action. 120 feet. You need a rubber ball. And to say some words and wave your hands. It is instantaneous. Mechanisms assemble beneath an object weighing up to 300 pounds within 5 feet. Within 5 feet of what?
Okay.
The object?
Oh, within
Okay.
within 5
Because
feet.
the range is 120 feet.
Yeah, within 5 feet of the object. Yeah.
Okay. That isn't being worn or carried and is no more than 10 feet long in any dimension. The object is hurled in a straight line up to 120 feet in a direction you choose. If the object moves through a creature's space, they have to make a dex saving throw. On a failed save, they take 4d10 bludgeoning damage and are knocked prone. This might... okay. I really wish they had specified what they mean by mechanisms assemble, because this sounds like you're just conjuring a trebuchet under something.
I was
You
thinking
might
that,
be.
and then I was like, but I feel like what they really want is you to make a small version of the rocket from Rocket and
Yeah.
attach it to something.
I would enjoy if the material component for this was a tiny wooden trebuchet.
Yes, 100%.
That would be amazing.
This is also so Looney Tunes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do
So Looney
feel like
Tunes
for what's that?
So Looney Tunes, it hurts actually.
It does hurt, but it doesn't hurt enough. For a 5th level spell, I think it should be more than 4d10 bludgeoning damage.
I agree. I mean, I get that they're like, oh, but it's long distance. I'm like, but not. How many people are you gonna get in the same like line?
Yeah. Not that many.
I was talking to Dex about this, and I was looking through my old session notes from my campaign, and when my players went against Agatha the Banshee in Lost Mines of Phandelver is just a regular Banshee. She just has a regular ass Banshee stat block, but they talk about how great of a wizard she was when she was alive. So I gave her wizard spells, and Valley Vajira was the one who wrote up the notes for that session, but she was like, and the entire party ran away in a straight line, so all of us got lightning bolt. And I was like, that's true. I don't know why you all ran in a straight line.
Skill.
Because
That's
players
skill.
don't have tactics.
It's true.
They don't. They truly don't.
They have
Ever-
something else.
It's sure the fuck ain't tactics.
They have. Well, I don't know. What should we do?
Yes,
That's what they
that's
have.
100% what they have.
Quotes. I don't know. What should we do? What do you think we should do?
If you were us, what would you do right now? I had a player ask me that once. Well, what would you do in my situation?
Say, I
like,
guess
are you-
I'd fucking lay down on the floor and put my thumb in my butt.
Right. Like, I'd be like, this is it.
This is it.
I wouldn't have
They're
gotten
gonna
myself
run.
into the situation, you fool.
That's
The thing
what,
that we want to tell them is like, hey, I would have thought, because there are certain things, not to even cut into not even to like go back to what we were talking about a couple weeks ago, but like again, there are certain things that when I, the DM, tell you, the player, I'm not saying it because I think it sounds cool. I'm telling you this because there is a non-zero chance it is important. Yes, the whole place seems like it's very creaky, and the sound of rushing water can be heard behind the walls. Huh. Then don't be surprised if it floods. It's all that stuff.
Don't be
See?
surprised is a good one too, because it's like we try this and then we try it again and then we try it again. It didn't work. Well, we tried everything.
Yeah. Trying the same
You tried
thing
the
over
same
time.
thing 4 times.
Not the
Yeah.
same.
You just because you decide you like the solution to be that does not mean.
Yeah. That's a hard one to get players to understand sometimes. Like, I'm 100% willing to work with you on a solution that maybe I didn't think of, because obviously I'm not going to think of everything. But
Right.
sometimes you pick the wrong thing, and even if you stick with it, it's still going to be the wrong thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I
this
think
is
that's-
worth. Oh, sorry, go on.
I think that's something that happens a lot in 5e, where people feel like, well, if I came up with it, it has to work.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's like, there's roll of cool, there's also, like, things in the world that no, like, not the first thing you come up with is not necessarily going to be the right thing.
It's
Yo,
true.
I fully fucking agree with what you're saying. But I do want to get into. Actually, I don't want to get into how I think there's a larger discussion to be had here about actually what game everyone thinks we're playing. And I mean this like 100%. I think like there's not an assumption about challenge. Like they say like session 0, tell everyone if like is there going to be the risk of death in your campaign? Let everyone know up front. Like you got to like for some people tell them there's going to be challenge.
Mhm.
Because that's not assumed. And it's so funny because I think there's like a rose tinted glasses situation where people like watch their favorite streamed game or something and they see all the like story that comes out of it and they think that maybe rightfully so, maybe wrongfully so, that it was considered story first and not that the things that ended up happening were the story. And so they sort of drive forward these ideas that they're going to have a certain story and get upset when they don't turn out a certain way. When in reality, you know, let's take just say Critical Role, for instance, they all got there to play the game and it unfolded the way it did and they all ran with it and it became the story it became, right? And it's not necessarily something planned ahead. And that's another thing for session 0 too. Let everyone know we're not planning the story ahead because there's a certain type of person that doesn't understand that that's D&D or that that's not D&D. These are all things, these assumptions that we make about the game or assumptions we've created or expectations we have, and they're different because we're DMs or GMs or referees or whatever. Versus your average fucking player who likes Stranger Things and wants to play D&D and that's it. You know, they might not know what it is, what the game actually is. And every table is different. Are you going to have challenge? Are you maybe every time I have a game, I have to let people know we're going to have so much fucking challenge in my game that you're going to fail fucking everything until you don't. Are you okay with that? You know, that's not everyone's game.
And I think a lot of people think that story just happens in D&D and they don't put the effort into developing their backstory. Or even if you don't develop it ahead of time, just taking the leap in the middle of a situation and going, this is a thing like from my life or something like that you have to go out on a limb and you have to make that story happen. It's not all on the DM and it's not just going to happen without you putting your character out there.
I agree. I agree so much. The best backstory from a player, and I think I've seen this somewhere else, so you're hitting this like nail on the head that I've seen other people hit on the head too, and maybe it's from the same place or maybe it's organic, but it's great. That like honestly, if you have a backstory for your character, don't leave it up to your fucking referee to weave it in. Say, well, I'm thinking about this because it's part of my backstory. Is any of that here? Just say.
Or literally, if you say it, if you introduce your character as, oh yeah, my guy came from a farm. My dad raised sheep, and I was a sheep herder, and you literally get somewhere, and it might call for you trying to herd some kind of creature, that you absolutely can say, hey, because my character was a sheep herder before he was an adventurer, could I try such and such an ability or action, so on and so forth? Yes. Yes, you totally just tied that random thing from your backstory into something that's happening platonically. Go for it. Go for it. That's a great use of your backstory.
Yeah.
Don't tell me though that because I said the word elf, I now have to create the Omega Elf King that you escaped from in the 12th you are level 1.
Yeah.
You did not. If you escaped from the Elf King, the evil Shadow King of elves, you did that as a child, and he has no qualms with you. You are not that.
There's also, you know, the style of referee that wants to fucking wade into the water with you and be like, send me your backstory, and I'll send you back all the proper names of all the people you came, you know, because you know, there is that type of referee. I'm not that type
And
of
hat
referee,
off to you. Hat off.
but I
I
think
tried to be.
yeah, but I think both types of referee will always just fucking hit that ball right back to you. Like that's what they're fucking waiting for on how they want you to engage with your backstory in their world. They want you to go, well, I do this. Is that going on around it? Is that relevant to the situation? And they might say no, but they want to say yes.
Yeah.
You know, like do that. That's
I
how you
was-
should. And the more you do that, the more they'll fucking remember and throw it out there for you.
I was laughing before because I was like, yo, even if you're wrong, say that thing. Because, like, in our campaign, Jack DT can't read a map in real life. He doesn't know the difference between east and west. So he was like,
You
yeah,
just say,
I'm from the west. And we were like, the ocean? And he goes, oh, no, I'm from the east, here. And he just happened to point on the map to, like, right next to where one of our other characters is from. And we've been tying that together ever since.
Yeah. Yep.
Sorry, I do love turning a character's. Well, I just said this. Oh, did you? Well, guess what? It's canon now.
Yep.
And, like, exactly what you said, you don't have to think about it. Just make it up on the go if nobody has said anything. The Laundry King, his character's backstory, nobody prompted him for this. They were just, like, sharing in a group, and he was like, well, I escaped my homeland when my uncle usurped the throne. He's a Goliath, so he had never seen any Critical Role anything, and he gave himself Grog Strong Joe's backstory. Just, like, completely improv it in the moment. And me and Valley Vajira are just staring at each other like, what the fuck is happening? He's never consumed that content before. But now he's Grog Strongjaw, but not.
It
Tell
just
us
made
about
sense for it.
Tell us about it. We want to help you. It's a collaborative storytelling game. The more info we have, I mean, yes, the higher the chances that we hurt you emotionally, but
But also, like, yeah, I feel like a lot of the time people will, and I have done this, will give their DM like one thing where they're like, this traumatic thing happened in my life, my husband was murdered, I'm looking for the killer. Like, I don't know, like, what happened to him. Nobody believes he was, like, killed. They think it was an accident. Do with that what you will. But, like, that is good for one big ooh moment. That is not your entire backstory. You need more.
But you know what that player expects you to do? They expect you to tie the killer into some grand scheme.
Yeah.
Tied into the overarching story that you've written. Because it's not that they were just the killer. It's that the killer was hired to specifically kill your husband, to specifically get at you because the big bad of this campaign knew you, and specifically you were going to be a threat. Because each player does want to feel like when you discover a bad guy, not that the bad guy hates you because you keep foiling their plans and you were nobodies to him initially, but that you were always somebody. You want to show up and the bad guy to be like, ah, you again. Not like, these people are here. What are they doing here? Or, that's inconveniencing to me.
It's really funny you say this because I had a theory about the Greek game that we played, the campaign, that it was sort of easy mode training wheels story wise. Maybe that's the wrong phrases to use, but there was a prophecy from the fucking get go. You guys are the heroes. You either save the world or it gets destroyed. Something like that, right? So you know that you're part of these things from the fucking rip. It sort of makes a lot of it easier because if you're playing, one of these like incidental hero type games, but every character is actually a prophesized person or like a VIP in the world. You know what I mean? Like the spotlight is always on fucking, I don't know, someone, whoever they are. It's like, that is a style of, or that is a genre of fantasy that isn't every genre of fantasy,
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So it's like making kind of tonal decision.
Yeah, I think it also, because especially like, I don't want to say too much because I know Okami, you're playing it right now as well. You're currently in it. So, but I will say that like there is a certain knowledge from that campaign, the Dragon Lords campaign, of knowing that you were the hero already with the prophecies and everything like that, that kind of makes you go, okay, I can't turn away from this problem because I have to do the heroic thing. It kind of puts you in a spot where it's just like one of our bigger battles, which we kind of, I think, really slapped everything we had together to pull off. It took a lot of use of hiding in buildings and using we used every mechanic to our advantage, but it was because we were outnumbered on this island. That's the best way. That's all I'm gonna say about it. And we couldn't give up because I think in all our heads we were like, shit, we got to do the heroic thing. But we don't have but so much to do. We can only do but so many things. How do we make this heroic shit happen? And we kept slapping stuff together till it worked. You know what I mean? I think there is some fun to be had there, and it's a different kind of narrative push. Because you have to fulfill that heroic status. If you don't, well, then the nature of the campaign kind of falls apart, or changes into something different because now you're not living up to the prophecy.
Yeah, and then it becomes its own sort of other story. But that's a more emergent story than the prophesizes the prophesized heroes completing the prophecy.
True.
When you said training wheels, I was like, that makes so much sense. Like to call it that way, because like those kind of stories are the easiest ones for the DMs to go through, like storyline wise. Sure, you're gonna have to do other stuff along the way, but like if it's already, you don't have any reason to try and tie these characters together. They're already tied together in some way. Like I wouldn't call it the major work, but like a lot of the groundwork is already done for you.
Yeah, and like when, you know, they don't sort of meet any rivals from any sort of other reasons. They gain rivals from this like main sort of thing that is what is happening. And the side quests all sort of serve into the main quest. They're not, I'm going to go on a side quest to do something completely fucking unrelated to anything. There's nothing unrelated to anything. You know what I mean? It's all sort of funneling into one thing, which was in my, like, if you can do this with anything, it doesn't have to be the Greek game. If you play that sort of game, if you play a system that supports those sort of stories, then, and you know, there's an argument to be made that system doesn't matter, but whatever. Then you can just add a prophecy in and you'll have a grand old fucking time. That's my theory. Because it will sanction a lot of the kind of cheesy corniness that otherwise happens when you're like, it's your dad all the time.
Now it's your dad. And then what's Zach Oyama's character's name? Am I my own dad? Because he keeps rolling so poorly on insight.
But yeah, no.
Because you can't have, you know, can't isn't the right word, but it serves a certain tone of this like heroic, epic sort of, I don't know, like, I don't want to use a like term to like a negative term, but like popcorn style story, you know what I mean?
Oh no,
like
that
just
makes sense.
action, fun, hold forward.
Pulpy.
Yeah, pulpy's good too. And then there's like, I don't know, there's like other styles of D&D. There's more than just two. There's that and a whole bunch. So, you know, it's like everything has a point and you can sort of create those styles certain ways, I think.
Yeah. I think things that also limit the setting a lot, like the kind of like magic school based settings and stuff like that,
Mm.
also serve that purpose because you
Mhm.
can have it's like why are we all here and why are we stuck together and why
Yes.
are we
Yeah.
doing this thing is all kind of answered for you.
100%.
Uh-huh.
I would love to. I know this sounds kind of sort of not in my wheelhouse, but I would love to like play in a magic school game, or any heavily themed game like that. Makes me very excited
I'm
because I
vibrating.
feel like what?
I am vibrating at you saying that.
Why?
My 0.5 session, I use Adventures in Academia as the 0.5 session to like teach people how to play D&D now. And it's a magic school where each of the classes is part of like a Harry Potter themed breakdown ish. And your principal's a dog, like fantastic.
Yeah, I think I would like something very heavily themed that especially one that goes into board gaming because I think procedure is like one of my favorite parts of D&D, and I run like a dungeon crawly procedure, a wilderness crawly procedure, like a camp procedure, encounter procedure, surprise procedure. Like I have procedures for everything, a checklist of how they go. And I would love a thing where it's like, okay, it's the next day. What are you guys going to do? Are you guys going to go into the dungeons of the school, or are you going to go to class and do this? And if we go to class, pick your 2 classes for the day, and then we see what happens. Like, I would love that fucking style of game. I would love that shit.
Okay.
Or I would love any other heavily themed into the mechanics style of game, where it like goes into some
I
sort of
gotcha.
like, yeah, especially if it goes into some sort of procedure for it. I would love that.
I when you guys were talking before about how like people go into D&D thinking it's always going to be heroic fantasy and that kind of stuff, but like your table determines where it is. At like the midpoint of my campaign now, we've been like 5 years in. At the midpoint of the campaign, my players were talking, and one of them was like, "But why does our BBEG lady hate us? Like we have nothing to do with her." And I'm like, well, you foiled her every step of the way. You happened to meet her by happenstance, but now you're just intentionally getting in her way. And you've kidnapped her son. Would you not hate you in this situation?
Oh.
Consider your actions.
Yeah.
They say, who's her son?
So like some people, like you said, like not only are they not expecting it, but like they don't realize that that trope is coming up either. They're like, oh, I really thought that I went into this being the hero, like the almighty hero, and doing all these great things. And I haven't been doing any of that, but I just expected it to eventually happen, kind of deal.
Mhm.
Not necessarily.
That's all for session 0. That's all for session 0. Like, you're not going to be a hero unless you do a fucking heroic thing. You're not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Some jerk with a sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you show up to the town and kill the witch, it's a very weird thing. But like your players show up to a town, meet a witch, the witch tries to curse them for whatever reason. They kill the witch, and then go to the town, and they just assume the town is happy with them. Why?
What if she was a nice
Well, we
witch?
killed the witch. Yeah, but we killed the witch. Who asked you to do that?
That's
That
who made our
doesn't make you a
medicine.
hero. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, you heard witch and just immediately said combat. I've had that happen on one shot where, like, I used a term, and immediately everyone forgot theme, forgot everything, and was just like, I pull out my sword and swing. I was like, why? Like, why? Why are we swinging? Because you said that she's this. You're a vampire.
Your fault, dude. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah.
No,
100%.
right. 100%.
When my players met, a black dragon, like they knew it was a black dragon. They know it's way out of their wheelhouse, what have you. But like Grimalkin just kept insulting it to the point where even the other players at the table were like, "We're not with him. If you're gonna kill somebody, it's just him."
We are not condoning this.
We are actively trying to tell him to stop.
That's pretty bad.
He's the sacrifice here. Eat him and be happy. Sometimes it be like that, though.
We got 3 more spells. We can do this.
Yeah.
We do.
Technically, there's a 4th, but we'll worry about that later.
So Minefield. I am excited for Minefield.
I'm hoping that this one is better than Kibbles is. Who wants to take it?
I'll hop on Minefield. Minefield as a conjuration at 5th level says that within 60 feet and for a duration of 10 minutes using only a pinch of gunpowder and a flint, you hurl dozens of small explosive devices. What does that have to do with magic? This first statement has nothing to do with magic.
I honestly feel like
unrelated things.
yeah, this one is literally like Shuriken Kagebunshin. Like he just made mine, and he was like, "Ha ha!" and then it multiplied.
Mm-hmm.
This is, hey, I wanted to throw a bunch of mines in one action. Okay, which burrow into the ground in a 40-foot, so they auto burrow within 40-foot square within range. And when a creature moves within the area for the first time, they roll a d20. On 11 or higher, they are unaffected. On a roll of 2 to 10, the creature triggers an explosion, and all creatures within 5 feet of them must make a dex saving throw. On failure, they take 4d10 thunder damage. On a roll of 1, they trigger a chain reaction, and all creatures in the minefield take 4d10, and the minefield is destroyed. Okay. First off, why not just bludgeoning damage? I guess because you're magical, right? This is
Of course.
Or fire, something.
Right.
Because
That would've been
technically, if you're deafened, you won't take damage from this.
But also, this requires gunpowder and flint. How does gunpowder and flint create thunder?
I want to know why this isn't a perfect example to introduce an analog version of the Minefield game into your campaign.
Oh my
Right.
god, yes.
Which square are you on? All right.
That's a 3.
Like now,
Yeah.
now this is a fun mechanic, not a spell, just a mechanic. This is a fun trap. But as a spell, I don't understand which part of this spell. This is literally Arfueta, that isekai anime where the guy gets like cast into the bottom of a dungeon, starts eating things,
Oh yeah.
and figures out how to make guns and like motorbikes in like the fantasy world. He pretty much breaks the world by making stuff that shouldn't exist.
Yep.
This is that guy, because he's just like, hey, we're fighting a dragon. Yeah, well, fuck you, dragon. I made grenades. What? Huh? Get out of my fantasy.
I 100% agree with you, though. This is a perfect trap.
Yeah.
As
Who
I
wants to
stare at the chat, this is a perfect trap.
You should blow him up. Just
It doesn't matter.
Phantom Smoocher. Yeah, it doesn't matter. He's not going to... They're not paying attention anyway. Honestly, Awaz, Dex, and Fist, you have a higher chance of knowing that this trap is going to come up now than any of my regular players. Phantom Smoocher.
Interesting.
You have our attention. Also, thank you for the follow, and thanks for feeling comfy enough to speak up.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Seriously, welcome.
I like traps.
But who wants to tell us about a wall of gears?
Damn,
Wall
this
of
guy's
Gears
so
sounds fun.
happy. Wait, Wait, I just realized the picture. There's like a, I think it's a wyvern. I can't tell because of the edge of the picture. Why is the wyvern setting off the mines? It flies.
No,
guess-
there's something over in the bottom left that just set it
Oh
off.
yeah, I see. Oh, somebody lost a leg. Okay, cool. That makes more sense. I was like, but they're over it. Whatever. Yes, take Wall of Gears. Take my mind off of this.
It's like a dope fucking laser shooting robot thing in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Dude,
That's some
right.
cool
What
spell
is
jam shit.
Yeah, that's some cool spells. You're 100% correct. And this guy has like a magic rifle and a Kano eye. Okay, you have our attention.
And look at his feet. This dude's got the craziest left leg in human
Oh, you're
That's
right. What
That
is
shit has
that?
like, that is the sickest, dopest foot ever.
I'm
That
trying
shit
to
is a
figure out why that's one of his feet, but not the other one.
Yeah, it
because
looks like he has
couldn't
all of
afford
Shredder's armor on one foot.
He couldn't afford the right foot. He could only afford the left.
It was
How
that or
did
the
he-
eye.
It was that or the eye, yeah. And look at that! Just look at that turbo blunderbuss. That energy blunderbuss he's holding.
So funny.
The energy blunderbuss.
Oh.
Yeah. Who's taking a wall of gears? Who wants it?
Somebody else should. I took one like 2 ago.
I'll
for
take
it.
I'll take Wall of Gears. 5th level conjuration, 1 action, 60 feet. You need a brass gear and a steel gear. Concentration up to a minute. A wall of spinning and grinding gears assembles on the ground at a point you choose within range. You can make the wall up to 30 feet long, 10 feet high, and 5 feet thick. The wall must form one straight line. When a creature enters the wall's area for the first time on their turn or starts their turn there, they must make a strength saving throw. On a failure, they take 4d10 bludgeoning damage and are restrained. As an action on your subsequent turns, you can move the wall up to 20 feet along the ground in a straight line. Creatures in the path of the wall must make a dex saving throw, becoming restrained by the wall on a failure. All creatures restrained by the wall are carried along with it as it moves. A creature restrained by the wall can use their to make an athletics check with a DC equal to the spell save DC, freeing themselves on a success. This just seems like a way less fun glue ball.
Uh-huh.
Originally, I was
Also-
like, wait, is this wall going to punch you if you come close, like one of the gears shoots out? But it seems like you're getting gummed up in the works.
Also, this really, I'm gonna say something that I've been thinking now for a while. This feels like Fortnite magic.
Yes.
Not
Why
to
is-
insult this, but like the idea of
Yes.
creating pitfalls and minefields and walls of gears that people fall. All very cool ideas if your vibe is that, or the style of game is that way, and that's what you want in a game, or, you know, you think it could be fun for a player and you just want to let it happen. But like, it absolutely fundamentally changes the dynamics of the world. When somebody's just like, I made an entire wall of gears because I had 2 cogs in my pocket.
Mm.
Like flavor wise, there's no reason for this to be a wall of gears.
Mm.
Right.
This could have been. I was gonna say my players have a terrible track record with animated walls, but they did fight a wall made out of bones once, and I almost killed all of them. Then, now that I think about it, they just were like, oh, it doesn't take a lot of damage, so we'll just not hit it. And I was like, okay. And I almost got to smush all of them in the wall. But it could have been an undead wall.
Yeah, this just seems like none of these spells seem like spells so much as they seem like things you would build if you were building an evil tower.
Yes. This is your Artificer tower. It's your Takeshi's castle.
Uh-huh. Again, nothing wrong with that. It's just not necessarily my, I guess, my go-to vibe.
I think people like um make these classes or these whatever for NPCs?
See that?
That's a big thing that like me as a person and me as a player didn't get for like the longest time. That like, oh, you know,
What?
It might just not. It doesn't always have to be just the players that get these homebrew stuff. There's plenty of NPCs who can get it too.
Yeah, maybe it's like so that they can have a villain of a certain type or like something.
I could see that.
Maybe also like a love domain cleric. Maybe.
Is that a thing?
I have a homebrew love domain. I don't know if there's an official love domain one. Now I think about it, if like your patron is Aphrodite for a love domain cleric, I also feel like she can get pretty jealous, so she could be a warlock patron too.
100%.
Hmm.
I like this theory crafting. I like this. This is what we're here for. Flavor. Who wants to take rebuild?
I'll do it. I'll finish off this wackadoo. One action, 5th level enchantment. It's a touch, and its components are 600 gold worth of platinum or adamantine, which the spell consumes. Again, if you've got 600 gold worth of adamantine just on you,
What
to
are you
burn
even
for
doing?
one, yeah, to burn for a spell. You conjure magical mechanisms to heal and or repair catastrophic damage a creature has suffered to their body. You touch a creature that has been dead no more than 1 day and restore them to life with 50 hit points as long as their soul is willing and able to return to the body. Any body parts missing except for the head are replaced by mechanical equivalents. A headless creature can't be resurrected. The target gains the construct creature type in addition to their previous creature type. Any effect or spell that can affect one of the creature types can still affect them. So technomancy.
I was like, wait, so they can't heal anymore after this? And then they're like, oh no, as long as one
Mancer's
thing
like a
can.
better thing. I think. Better name.
Yeah, technomancy
I'm making
absolutely works in a
cyborgs.
certain right. This absolutely all these spells on a technomancer in a high-tech world game absolutely work. Where there's metal abundant. Because I refuse to believe that you're just sitting somewhere and like fires just happen.
Yeah.
This is just happening around. People are just like, yeah, man. Just last week, Timmy over there, you know, summoned up an entire wall of gears.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what that world is like where you could just jutsu summon gears and mechanical walls and lob minefields with spell slots.
So before I said, will it be better than Kibbles is? Kibbles has a series of. They could be landmines, but you can also leave them floating in the air. He's got like Thunder Burst and Cloud Burst, and I think there's a Flame Burst mine. Like each of them are elemental themed. Those I totally understand you putting like a magical piece in, but they're not. They are spells, but his inventor, like you build them.
Yeah.
I get that one.
Well, yeah, all of these things should be built, not cast.
I also feel like just rebuild in general, you have to. The 600 gold worth of platinum or adamantine, like in most of the games, like most of the universes we're in, you wouldn't waste that on a person. You know what I mean? Like you would be
No.
so rich otherwise. You'd have to reflavor this as I'm just gonna go druid again here. Like maybe a chipping of the bile tree worth 600 gold that lets you rebuild their body, that kind of thing.
Alright. I gotta log off, guys.
All right. I have
Take care.
one more spell. Actually, Abraham, you might check this out too. One more spell. I definitely wanted clubs here for this one. But we have one more spell. It is called Glorious Evolution. Because it's very like old school coded, but I think it's gonna break most games. If you're on YouTube, you can drop the description right now and follow along with us. If you're on Twitch, I'm popping this in and I'm gonna pin it until it's time to be manually unpinned, which honestly shouldn't be that long, really. But it is just one spell. And I gotta change the music because it's time that we take a peek at this one. This one's another one by AdramastesGM, or otherwise known as. Oh no, this one's always Adramastes. I really thought he had a different name. Oops. Anyway, one more thing to check out. I didn't write this down. That was silly of me. It has a lot of information because I really feel like this is gonna break most of your campaigns. Even though it is pretty high, it's a level 8. It's an 8th level spell. That's pretty high. But if you could just keep doing this, whoo-wee, you are changing the dynamics of your world.
Hmm.
Who wants to start reading?
I'll give it a shot. Like you said, it's a level 8 spell. It's a component is only somatic, I'm guessing here?
Apparently.
How should I be assuming here? Its duration's until dispelled, and it can be cast by sorcerers, warlocks, and wizards. You touch the forehead of a CR5 or level 5 or lower humanoid, attempting to rewrite their imperfection and aligning them with the ideals of progress and perfection. Target must make a charisma saving throw. On a successful save, the spell fails. On a failed save, the target becomes charmed for the duration and is paralyzed while charmed. If the spell lasts for the full duration, the target is permanently transformed. The following effects are applied. I mean, you want to take me into the first effect here?
Sure do. Boink. Whoops. Physical augmentation. If any of the target's strength, dexterity, or constitution scores are below 14, they become 14. Any of these scores already at 14 or higher increase by 1 to a maximum of 20. In addition, all diseases afflicting the target are cured. Telepathic link. You establish a telepathic connection with the creature, enabling communication regardless of language. As a bonus action, you can enhance this link for 1 minute, allowing you to perceive through the creature's senses. While perceiving through its senses, you benefit from any special senses it possesses. Clubs, do you want to take the next page's things?
Was it telepathic link?
No,
Next one.
enlightened.
So Enlightened Companion.
Okay, I see. It just switched for me. Enlightened Companion. The creature becomes a devoted ally to you and your companions, completely under your control. In combat, it shares your initiative count, taking its turn immediately after yours. The creature obeys your telepathic commands. No action required. If no commands are given, it takes the dodge action and uses this movement to avoid danger. Price of Perfection. Each time you successfully cast this spell, you must make a DC 5 Constitution saving throw. The DC increases by 1 for each subsequent successful casting of this spell. On a failed save, you permanently lose 1 hit point die. Hit point die. Is that what it's called now? Hit point
No,
dice?
it's definitely hit dice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lost in this way can only be restored by the Wish spell. When you're reduced to 0 hit points and become unconscious, any creature transformed with this spell also fall unconscious. When the unconscious condition ends on you, it ends on all such creatures as well. the unconscious condition ends on you. When does it end? If you remove this spell from your list of prepared spells, any creatures you have transformed die instantly. This effect also occurs if you die or leave the plane of existence where the creatures. What the fuck? Dumb spell. Casting creature restoration using an 8th level or higher spell slot on an evolved creature restores it to its pre-evolved state. I don't know.
That's interesting.
What does it do? It like you just like
You make somebody you can touch a follower.
okay.
I did not read the price of perfection. I thought there was just absolutely no limit on it. I was like, huh. You just can keep making followers? Interesting.
It's really not just making them a follower. You have complete control, right? Like it's like a devoted ally to you and your companions, completely under your control. So it's the NPC to PC spell.
That I hadn't considered.
In a weird way, it's almost also kind of like a become other DMs spell in a crazy way, because like you're now taking something that existed and pretty much saying, hey, I'm changing things about you.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's different than like a charm person spell, who literally charm person in, at least in like the edition I play, is they think of you as a friend. You know, like that's it. They don't do anything, nothing. It just they think of you as a friend. So you go like, hey, I'm here, and you're like, oh, welcome, come on in. Okay, great, I'm inside. You know, like that's charm person. So this is like beyond charm. This is mind rape from NPC to PC, which is very interesting.
Well, even more so, it's kind of in a very wacky way. It's saying, hey, I want to control that character.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like
I just don't know what people are fucking playing this game this way. I mean, I know that my whole thing is that everyone's playing this game differently, but like, in my old example used to be like, you know, some people want to just open a bakery.
Yeah.
You know? Now I don't know. I don't know what people want to do with this game anymore. They want to play Pokemon with villagers, I guess, and turn them all fucking yoked. Because as soon as they go into the Pokeball, their stats go up to 14. I don't understand.
Right. Like, because you know that the player... Because here's the other thing about it.
What is the light bulb that goes off in your head and you're like, I must grab my pen and write down this magnum opus of a spell?
Well, yeah,
it does exactly what I need it to.
What is the requirement?
This is for an NPC, dude. This is a bad thing.
Yeah. Oh, it's absolutely
like,
a bad
minus
thing,
the price of perfection, which I didn't see that before. I was like, this is your BBEG. Like, there's no good-natured person is, like you're saying, mind raping people to make them follow them around.
Not even minus the price of perfection. That's part of that's the whole shebang. This dude's up fucking, he's the painting of Dorian Gray up in the attic, and he has fucking 50 other people being him. Like, buff him.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the point of this spell.
This is, but like, also handing this to a player, the player's gonna, you can't give this to a player. Because they're gonna only do the dumbest thing possible. They're gonna grab the small child, little Timmy, in the town, and use this on him, and then make him so buff that he's a follower.
Yeah, dude. If it were me with this spell, I wouldn't. That's how I would tell the GM I'm using the spell. I would go. I point at little Timmy and I make him buff.
Yeah, I'm absolutely grabbing. I'm grabbing. You tell me there's an orphan child just sitting in the street begging for coins? Not anymore. There's a swole orphan
Imagine.
child.
Can you imagine the person who looks at you in the face and doesn't laugh and says, "I cast Glorious Evolution" on that character, and doesn't instead laugh and say, "I make him buff."
Right. Yo, that grandma in that room over there making soup, nah,
I
she's
make her fucking buff.
balling. She's swole.
Dude,
She's
she's
swole.
14.
She's got a 14 strength con index. Hand her a battle axe. This bitch is going fighting. Like,
Listen up, Nines. There's a 14 talking.
right.
I'm putting that in the list of designs.
because also you have to understand.
There's 14 talking.
I need that on a shirt, please. Right now. Like, you have to understand that, like, narratively speaking, the moment you do this, absolutely that's what happens. Your fighter, who's been running around with 13, because that's a +1, automatically has an NPC character show up and just block the attack. just stop what's happening.
It's
And just
definitely
go,
for some kind of weird cosmic villain, right?
Yes, yeah, 100%.
mhm.
And in that case, then whatever. Like, that's fine. That's good. Like, you just don't need the spell, though. You just invent the villain. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
but that's just my 2 cents.
No, I think that this is a lot of.
Just like the you know, the virtue of what's happening here and the ways in which we do it, and maybe like the ease of which D&D Beyond lets you make homebrew stuff, make homebrew like characters, right? You can still do that on D&D Beyond, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people sort of, whenever they make an NPC for their campaign, they don't just like put the relevant stats they need. They like go all out. They like make this new thing and make a new person, and they want the whole fucking stat block. They want like the page from the book, and it includes their like all their unique spells and stuff, right? That work a special way and really gonna impress the party. And I think this is one of them. I think that this one's not bad. In terms of like using it for a villain, I just don't need the spell. I just need the villain idea. That like the villain literally gives up some of themselves in order to empower a army of stooges that are hive-minded to them, right? Like, that's fine. That's great.
But this has no this has no right in the hands of the player.
I just don't think it needs to be a spell. This is just the nature of the enemy.
Right.
You know, like by calling it a spell, it then becomes something that is compatible with a character. But I don't even think it needs to be a thing that is compatible with a character. It is just the nature of the enemy. It goes in the enemy's stat block and not the spell's description. You know what I mean? In my opinion, this is just how I would run this particular idea, that this entity from this other world is not casting a spell. It's like its nature is incompatible with our reality, and this is how it does things. It like fucking just usurps your being. You know? Like you need, I think, because D&D Beyond and 5th edition sort of have it easy where you can create spells for whatever you want and format them as real spells very easily and recognizably to people and use like the proper terminology very easily, you know, people are compelled to do that, but it would have, in my opinion, been a better NPC.
Like,
I also, when I have an NPC, I don't really need many stats from it or anything, right? Like,
I was explaining to someone the other day that like when I made my first NPCs, I thought everybody had to be built like a full-on character, and oh my God, what a waste of time.
Dude, yeah. There's a very good Matt Colville video about that exact same thing, how he basically like created his villains by leveling them up from like level 1 with um their classes that they were. And it's so funny because, you know, sometimes I have to like do that kind of shit. And I like can't imagine. I would. I fucking don't have the time for that.
Mm-mm.
But he brings it up like he was like he really had to like shake himself from doing that.
Well, because I think there's also like in your brain a certain level of play where you're just like, okay, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, like when you're
supposed
first
to-
starting, you don't know any better.
Yeah, 100%. And when I said
like-
like I can't imagine doing that, I don't mean ever. I mean I used to do it too. Now I can't imagine going back to doing that. I'm sorry if I made it sound like I just never did that shit.
100% agree. Like, oh God, no, I would never ever. When you said before, like when you have people run into things, like as we're building a game, as we're building the story together, you have them try new things. When I made all those characters, like I made a whole sorceress bloodline for basically earthbenders because I thought like that's what my players would think was cool, and like they could be those earthbenders, but not a single one of them has ever been like, I want to play that class, even though I have it made.
Because we definitely the first time try to predict what we think the players are going to think is cool, instead of just having the player tell us, I think this is cool. Like, and that's not to say that we shouldn't try and come up with ideas that might interest people. Like if we're doing our own, like, you know, design work, like Clubs, you had the Exorcist class that you were like you and I were talking about one day, and like it kind of came together from like us talking about like old Hammer films and stuff like that, and literally just became, oh snap, this is dope. Like, yeah, this should be a thing.
Yeah.
But like that is very different from sometimes some of the stuff you see. I've seen some madness out there, and
because it's not for everyone's general game. Do you know what I mean? It's like for their very specific, narrow pizza pie slice of D&D that they're playing. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's why that happens. Like, sometimes it's easy to weigh these things in a vacuum or compare them to our own game, but they're not. They're probably in someone's weirdo fucking game that totally matches the tone of this Looney Tune shit that we're reading. And it would just be crazy in mine where we're like, how many fucking torches do you have every 10 seconds? And, you know, like, how many torches do you have? You've been in the dungeon for an hour. You need to rest. Like, that's the sort of game I play. We can't be shooting fucking steel beams out of places.
I was gonna say, none of your players throw minefields?
Nobody's throwing minefield.
The steel beams is getting me though. It's such a funny idea for most worlds.
Can confirm no steel beams have been utilized in any of the games that we've played.
I just imagine two technomancers or whatever they're called are standing next to each other, and one proudly shows off their new spell, and a fucking steel beam just like appears on the floor, and the other one's like, "Why though?" The other technomancer is like, "Why? Like, was your dad a builder? Do you need to? Is he making you build?
Did he make you do this?
What is happening?"
Yeah, like something I think you said way back when was like there's a niche that someone wanted to fill when they made these spells. But sometimes like trying to find that niche is so hard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think that niche necessarily needs to be found sometimes.
No. It's funny to speculate though.
Oh yeah.
Like in this case with the steel beams, it's like very interesting. Do they go away? I don't remember. Do they go away after
They
a
stay
time, or
up
are
for
they
10
permanent?
minutes, so I'm like, I don't
Dude,
know
you
if that's
can't
enough
even build
time.
anything.
Yeah, I don't know if that's enough
They
time to build
literally they
anything.
think it's a weapon.
That's why I said it has to be like you have to make them rain from the sky. Like that is the only way that it's unless you want to block a door for 10 minutes until like the cavalry gets there. But still, I don't know. 10 minutes doesn't seem like a long enough time for that particular spell.
Also, it's like gunpowder things and clockwork things and a fucking steel beam. Oh.
That's very much a certain vibe.
Yeah, it's like railroad wizard. I don't know.
The
I
wizard of
love
industry.
Railroad Wizard. That's going in the designs as well.
Just industrial wizards out here, just the masters of the steel mill.
Yeah. Fucking
Yeah,
manifest destiny.
right. This is if John Henry was secretly a mage
Dude, 100%.
out here just hammering railroad spikes and
His mount
steel
is
beams
blue.
out of nowhere. Yeah.
You know, if it was like a fucking expansion west in like you know, like the early days of the United States, or like pre-United States or whatever, you know, in that time, and it was like wizards on a growing rail line as it was going west, and they were like, you had one thing that you can do and is shoot steel beams out of your arms or whatever, that would be the sickest fucking shit ever. But as it stands, we're not that. And it's weird.
Yo,
That's okay.
steel beams.
If that was
shooting out
your
of your
one
arms.
power, that you shoot steel beams out of your arms and they just clean themselves up,
You're just a Guyver at that point.
that's
You're
awesome.
you're a cooler version of Cementos from
Yeah.
My
If
Hero Academia.
If I was me, but I could shoot steel beams out of my arms, I would be the coolest. Actually, if I could just put a steel beam on the floor, blink it into existence, I would be awesome. But in D&D, it's not good.
100%, 100% understand.
You would be pretty freaking dope if you could do that, though. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Imagine Iron Monkey. You guys ever seen Iron Monkey? The
Mhm.
Oh
movie?
yeah, love that
Shit's
movie.
tight as fuck. Great movie. At the end, the guy fights with his sleeves. What if it was steel beams coming out? That would be fucking way cooler
that
and
is
make more
pretty
sense
cool.
with him walking on them.
Yes, agreed.
Be pretty.
Anyway, I want like a Wild West Iron Monkey featuring steel beam hands.
Featuring steel beam.
Steel beam hands. No, that's so good because all I'm imagining is you're in like a far technologically advanced society. People are like shooting laser hands and stuff, and they assume when you say steel beams that they're expecting a laser beam to come out, and then you just shoot a girder out of your hand, and it just like absolutely obliterates whoever is in front of you. Everybody's freaked out. They're like, "What? No! What? We have beam weaponry. We can't stop the girders."
Not the fucking girders. We weren't built to fight the girders.
Oh, that's true. He could. The new guy. Oh my God, I forgot. Is that really his name? I knew it was John Fire something, but Fire Knife is a little too on the nose. He what is he? He produces molten metal from inside his body, and he can shape it. He is Steel Girder Man.
Pretty fucking metal.
Before you came in, Clubs, one of the spells is called Harpoon, and I read it, and I went, oh, damn, there's a Marvel character like this. Why can't I think of his name? His name is Harpoon.
But I will say this: the spells the first guy wrote, I would be happier to see those spells as not spells. Just like straight up things this one villain can do.
Yes.
Like, I think that would be so much cooler.
It seems like
I'm gonna
These
keep
artificer
Ballstorm, though.
spells are intended for PCs.
Mm.
I can't give it to him.
I like the lower leveled ones more than the higher leveled ones.
I just
But mostly because of their Looney Tunes like equivalents and what have you. I like the ideas of. I feel like a lot of the anything related to bombs that we went over in Artificer spells is only magic because it does thunder damage and not like bludgeoning or fire.
Why does it do thunder damage?
right.
Yeah.
Again, I'm trying to figure that one out.
I'm
I
like,
want to know.
it's loud, sure, but like it's not. It's concussive. If you said force, I would be more okay with it. Or if it was like you take thunder damage and some other kind of damage.
Is it not an explosion? Like what do heat fiery explosions do? Like
right? All of his explosions were thunder damage. I'm like, it doesn't really make it magical. It just hurts your ears. So I said, technically, rules is written if you're deafened, you can't take thunder damage because you can't hear it, which is kind of silly. Because like, even if your eardrums are blown, you can still get dealt damage.
whoa. Dude, Wizards of the Coast just answered, if a tree falls in the forest and no one's around to hear it, does it still make a sound?
Oh my God, yes.
Dude, it doesn't. Not in D&D.
Not in D&D. It never fell.
That's great.
Agreed. It is blunder damage in this case. You're right, though. Now I want to make a character that just shoots steel girders out of their hands. Like Cementos, but honestly cooler. Though,
yeah,
there was that one time we were playing the Battle Royale, and we won because our Cementos he put 2 walls on either side of a hallway that we were in, and the gas closed in around us, so all the other players died because they couldn't get past the walls. It's the only time Cementos has been cool.
But like, that's how you have to use this character, right? Like,
true.
If you thoroughly have like a guy who's gonna just be summoning steel girders and minefields, you gotta have a lot more fun with it.
I
And
want that guy has to be like the boss where you fight the what is it, the gear dragon, the clockwork dragon we went over a while back. Like the clockwork dragon has to be his minion.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Again, this guy is the entire clock tower from a Castlevania game.
Self-contained.
Self-contained clock tower. You enter and the music plays.
dude, that's a good dungeon. Do it. Enter the boss and go into the dungeon.
And when you do enough damage, it flips upside down.
Yeah, I was definitely gonna say you got to do some kind of upside down.
Yeah. Well, that's how you find out when you get to the head. You find out that actually this isn't even the real robot. That there's actually another robot inside, and you go inside and it's the other robot in reverse because it's just some weird HR Geiger bot.
I love everything that you just said. I just want to say, when you go into the mouth, it's actually the vacuum tube spell. So it sucks you up and deposits you in the next slightly smaller robot.
Which is inside. Which is inside and upside down.
Ooh. What is that? Wild Witchlight something? I don't know what the adventure's called.
No.
Oh, Wild Beyond the Witchlight. I was close. I had all the words. I just didn't put prepositions.
Wild Witchlight. Under Force Go.
I'm trying to think. There's also, I don't think it's an official D&D thing. I think it's a homebrew adventure, but there are like posters around town advertising a circus, and if you read them, you get sucked into the circus, but everything there just wants to eat or kill you. Like, that works.
Sounds like a great place.
But we finished everything we needed to go over today. So that means we're going to put up the poll. We're actually a week ahead, so this poll will be 2 weeks from now.
Isn't this poll for like 6 weeks from now?
Only 2 weeks. If we could get 6 weeks ahead, oh my god, I would be so stoked. I don't think we're ever going to get that far ahead, but that's fine because it gives us some more variety. So, for those of you who are new, like Abraham and whoever is in the YouTube chat right now, the way this works is we put up a poll. So if you're on Twitch, I'm going to put up an actual poll you can vote on, but it will only stay up for 10 minutes. That does not mean that voting time has run out. It actually means that you have 24 hours from when this stream ends to put in your votes if you don't put them in one of the physical polls. On YouTube, I can't put the polls up. I wrote 2 next weeks. Nope. 2 weeks from now it's full.
2 next weeks.
God, there's something wrong with me. On YouTube, I have too many. We have too many choices, so you can't make a poll. But I put it in the chat anyway. If you're on Twitch, a Grinch who stole. Wait, is the Grinch Are you the Grinch? In that one shot? Because that would be honestly kind of sweet. But we're putting up this poll. You can put in your votes. Then everyone in DM Roundtable, like all the DMs from DM Roundtable, vote. 2 weeks from now's poll. I was again about to write 2 weeks poll. Nope.
We also judge you thoroughly when you don't vote for what we voted for.
It's true. It's all true. It's not. We don't care. This is. Yeah, I can count. I swear to you, I can count. Everyone knows I can't count. But the poll's coming up on Twitch. Boop. You can put your votes in, and that will tell us 2 weeks from now what we're gonna do. Next week, everyone, the vote that won was one-shot supplements, and this is purely a selfish desire. The one-shot we're gonna go over is a gravity spells, items, abilities compendium of conversions from Elden Ring, because in DM Lacara's campaign, my character just got a boon from the space goddess, so now I can warp gravity in weird ways. So I'm like, yo, we got a whole compendium of stuff I can mess with now. But this poll will tell us what we're going to do the week after that. So if you don't vote in the Twitch poll, totally fine. I'm going to remove the glorious evolution from the pins so that it's easier to see the poll. There you go. But don't worry, if you don't vote in the poll, you still have 24 hours. So you can send us a message. You can come to the Discord. Abraham, if you'd like to join the Discord, you're more than welcome. You can put in !Discord and it'll pop up a link to the Discord. Or you can hit us up on various social medias. You can find us wherever you want to find us for sure. Both on YouTube and Twitch. I will, when you said before to look for your other spell, I looked through Whispers because I have a real tough time finding Whispers on Twitch now. That's like the only place I would say not to message if you want to get an answer, because it's too many screens in for me to go find. And it doesn't pop up in chat anymore like it used to. But this poll's got adventures, articles, items, maps, and show and tell. I had something specific I wanted to show at show and tell, and I don't remember what it was now, but that's fine. I think everybody in this group has something always to show off as part of show and tell.
That is accurate. I definitely have.
Show and tell.
Yeah. I definitely have some cool stuff that I'm working on for show and tell. I could show and tell. So.
Like what? Do you want to give us some teases?
No, I don't think I will this time.
Okay. I guess.
You sound so sad.
I like teases. I like them.
Maybe after the stream I'll show you some stuff.
Okay, that's fair. Wait, Clubs, how many campaigns are you running right now?
Just one.
Really?
Yeah. Just one. It started out Dolmenwood, and 40-something sessions later, it's now Keep on the Borderlands.
What?
Which is very wild to me.
Yeah, it's not
Wait,
the
did you-
direction that is supposed to go.
Did you leave the woods and made it to the desert?
They didn't. They left the woods, not in the desert. It's more of a Borderlands between like the area just outside the woods and a swamp.
Oh.
So it's kind of foresty, just sort of normal area here.
Okay.
Well, there's some swamp.
Okay. I had this conversation with Valley of Ajiri the other day. She was like, I need you to explain to me what happened in Waterdeep. And I was like, I don't want to spoil you in our campaign. But
Nothing.
like,
The answer is nothing.
I will tell you that, surprise, we're not going to play Waterdeep Dragon Heist because we were going to, and you guys left. So that stuff happened. You guys just weren't there for it. And she was like, what? And I was like, it takes place at the same time, man. You guys were in Waterdeep. You could have absolutely played that, but you didn't. You said, oh, there's bad stuff happening? Deuces.
That is the choice.
I wouldn't call that the heroic thing to do, but y'all did it.
But don't worry, they don't need to be heroes. They just need to
It's
be.
true. They just need to. I don't think Grimbo's here anymore. But when I was on the phone with Dex earlier, he was like, why do I feel like, even though I've never seen Grimjack's sheet, that his character's stacked, and yet he doesn't do anything?
He's got a play style, which is to not interact with the game.
Yep. That is 100% one way to put it.
That is absolutely a great way to put it.
I did hear from Grimjack, though, Fist, that he was like, yo, Fist really wants to play with us. I just don't know how we're all going to get together on the same day. And I was like, how many people do you think are going to be at this table? Like...
He thinks that you're gonna run a 65-person game.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Do you think it's gonna be the whole regular crew, plus Fist, Dex, Awaz, and like 5 more people? Like, I mean, listen, we don't get anything done with our normal 6 people.
No, if you do that, Okami, please let me be one of the people. So the moment he does something, I can lose
You
my
talk
mind.
over him.
Yeah, I can lose my mind. Because I'm gonna absolutely snap.
Oh my God, that's so many people, dude. Like, I can't. Especially if it's supposed to be a one shot, and you're playing with like 15 people. That one shot's not ending.
No, the one shot's not ending.
The only way you do that is you write a 3-scene one shot, which is an introduction, a single encounter boss, and then a revelation or the treasure after. That's the only way.
Yeah, it's not happening. I'm sorry.
The
I
one
did...
shot, it needs
No,
to
go
have a
ahead.
beginning and an end. So those are 2 scenes.
It
needs to be in the middle.
I don't know if you were the one who shared it. Maybe, Clubs. Did you send me the gameplay of More Time? It would have been a while ago, like 3 months ago, but I just got to it yesterday.
Maybe.
And when I watched, I was like, oh, I didn't realize, like, if your people survive, you get to upgrade them. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's like half RPG. Yeah, it's awesome.
So Jack DT, we've been playing Warhammer, and he looked at the minis for God tier, and he was like, "Yo, can we play this?" And I was like, I never expected to play this, but basically it's a little skirmish game where it's 1-on-1, but each of you like picks a team to go in with. Like the teams are already built. You just grab that box of minis, and like that's your team for the go. So I was like, there's a whole bunch of other games that like there's Trench Crusade and Mordheim and all this other stuff. Are you sure like you want to get into God tier? And I was like, to be fair, I do already have 10 teams worth of stuff, so we'll have
That makes it
variety.
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trench Crusade, fucking Mordheim, and Necromunda are essentially all kind of the same game. They play that way. Like you make a semi-small
Oh.
squad, not an army, and in between games you like upgrade or things happen. Maybe characters die or whatever. They level up. You find treasure. Or you can use the money you earn to hire people, from within your warband, like new units. But you can also hire like each game has their own kind of like independent units that certain warbands can take. So maybe there's like 10 hired guns in Necromunda, and my Escher gang can take like 4 of them, so I can hire one of them if I like. That kind of shit.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. People run like whole narrative campaigns, they're called, where they create like, okay, who are you playing? You're playing fucking witch hunters. I'm playing Skaven, and someone's playing fucking vampires. Okay, well, this is the scenario why these 3 people are involved in some kind of conflict at all, and we'll play 5 games each, and at the end we'll take our battles that we won or lost and we'll make a campaign out of it. You like tell the story of what happened.
I like that. Super cool.
Cool.
Also,
The only
just
problem
stuff
is
to look into.
Yeah, you just gotta buy minis and play it.
I was trying to explain to Stefan. We were talking about. I was like, can you use proxies for Warhammer and stuff? He was like, I don't know what you mean. And I was like, yeah, like the guys who make flat plastic miniatures, they tried to kickstart a proxy for like Warhammer figures, and Stefan was like, what the fuck is this? This is flat. What this isn't a Warhammer mini? And I like went on the site and I was like, oh, so you if they allow it in whatever shop you're in, but not in a tournament. I guess that's a good way to start.
Well, so first of all, if you're never going to play in a Warhammer official tournament or like in a Warhammer store, then it does not matter. You can absolutely play with like elves and say they're Space Marines. It does not matter.
I didn't even think of that.
Right? But, if you're just playing with your friends, if you go to a store and they're like, no, they need to at least kind of be the thing. You can also play a game where you have to play it, quote unquote, WYSIWYG, which stands for what you see is what you get. Meaning, if I have a model that has a las gun, her fucking character better have a las gun and not a snub pistol or something else, because it better match exactly. The model better match what it is. And so if WYSIWYG is tough, because if I win my round and I level up one of my girls and now I want to put a fucking needle pistol in her hand, I have to snip off her fucking hand or her pistol and replace the model and repaint it.
Okay, so DT has just started like some of his, I don't know what they are, captains, I guess. I don't know any of the terms for Warhammer, but whatever the leader of the group is, he started to put magnetic arms on them to change their weapons.
That is a lot of people do that. It's probably not a bad idea, because 10th edition is going to end and 11th edition is going to start, so things might change. But there's also a whole other thing that is in between proxy and in between official models, and it's kit bashing. And you can buy official models and then go on Etsy and scroll any of the fucking heads or other weapons, or you can go 3D print your own guns or whatever and edit what you have. And in fact, you have to do that for certain armies. Games Workshop does not sell every army. Like every company of Chaos Space Marine doesn't have their own unique models. Some do, some don't. You have to make some yourself. And you have to do that by sculpting with fucking green stuff or milliput. And you have to do that by buying upgrade kits and buying a box of like normal Space Marines or Chaos Space Marines, and then buying a like fucking Word Bearers upgrade kit. I don't know if the Word Bearers have an upgrade kit, but anyway, so on and so forth. You kit bash together your own fucking models.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very interesting. If you ever wanted to get like have a good look into it from a kind of good channel that does it well and isn't like a super painter that's going to make you feel bad, check out Eons of Battle. The guy Jay has multiple kinds of videos. There's kinds where he's just talking at the camera about Warhammer updates and data slate changes and shit. Ignore those, go straight to the painting, and he will have pretty good stuff. He paints some Star Wars occasionally, but it's mostly his Black Templar army, some Tau, and something else. But he really, I said this to my wife the other day, that I watched him like a year ago and I was like, he's a right painter, but you know, I'm learning. Now I feel like he's a much better painter after the last year, and his videos are like really teaching me a lot, and it's interesting to see him get better.
That's cool.
So I recommend that. He kit bashes all his Black Templars and like makes them look really interesting and juices them up a bit.
Cool. I'll definitely look into that.
I have no affiliation with him or anything. It's just a good channel.
Gravy. The like getting to watch DT paint has been so cool because he's honestly very good at it now. Like way better than any of us expected him to be, especially this soon. But like that's all he's doing in his spare time. I'm like, oh, that actually makes sense. Like you're legitimately practicing this.
Get him into terrain.
He really wants to get into terrain. And I'm like, bro, if you want some stuff to paint, like I already have some 3D printed stuff. Like he's very big on the, you guys got stuff you need painted now? And I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Have him make you some fucking dungeon tiles and run some dungeons.
If I could get my 3D printer up and running, he would just be swimming in terrain. Because I think it's so funny that he's going so hard on painting all of his he's got a Termi army, and he's got whatever the default Space Marine army is. I don't know the chapters.
The blue ones?
Yes.
Ultramarines.
Ultramarines, okay. So he's got those two, and like he's painting them
Is he gonna
so
get blue
hardcore.
box with Titus?
I think he was thinking about it, but now because he's been going to the Games Workshop store, I think in Connecticut, he's playing against these guys with tanks, and he's like, I think I need a tank. I'm like, listen, I can't really help you with that. If anything, the only suggestions I'm going to make are orcs, because all of their names are stupid, and I would love to have this stupid army.
Dude, oh my god. Orcs have the dumbest lore ever, but it's so good. It's like orcs paint things red because they legitimately think it makes it faster. And they paint things purple when if they think it makes it stealthy.
And their magic works just because they believe it does.
Yeah. And the checkerboards mean something too. It's like so, and they talk like they're fucking like from the UK, like 80s ska UK.
They're so stupid. I love them.
Jamaican, British. That's kind of the vibe. I don't know. Maybe it's not Jamaican British. It's just like very interesting.
All their vehicles are like Humdinger Buddha Scooter and stuff like that. It's so dumb.
Guns are like Dhaka.
Yes, Boom Dhaka is one of the I think it's a plane. I think.
Yeah. I think they had this old game. I don't know much about it, but they had this old game called Gorka Morka that was like cars, orc cars that were all like Mad Maxy type cars and shit. And I think people have like made their own versions of Gorka Morka now because it's like long out of print, where they like take trash and like put them on Hot Wheels cars and shit and make their own like smaller scale Gorka Morka game. Like you can, there's a whole like huge DIY wargaming scene that's doing like crazy shit.
Yes, 2080 UK. Yes, 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 yes. Boondocka Scuzzwagon is one of the motorcycles. I almost cried.
And the box says that, like in the store, that's what it says.
I was like, Stefan, this. I don't know. You can look at whatever you want on that side, but I think you should buy this, or this, or this. And all of them have the stupidest names I've ever seen.
Yeah. I almost bought a Tau army for Christmas.
They're the like aliens with the laser guns, right?
They're like robot-y looking, even though they're not really robots. They're aliens. But yeah, they look like the Gundams, if you've ever seen those.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they I like them. And then I almost bought a Slaves to Darkness Sigmar army instead. Not army, but what's that game? Like they have like Kill Team and Sigmar's is called Spearhead. But you know, those games, I almost did that, but instead I went with Necromunda because it's more of like a Nordheim Trench Crusade thing. So those are the games I really want to play.
I just read through all of the Retired Adventurer's blog, and at the beginning when he was running, he ran a Warhammer campaign that was supposed to take place across 6 different games, but it's all the same story. And I at the time I didn't know that there was more than one like TTRPG for Warhammer. I didn't realize that like for every different kind of thing you can do in that universe, there's another game. And like the scale that he's thinking about, like there's this overarching story with like one character who passes between each of the missions in some way. I was like, he's living the dream, but I cannot imagine the stress this puts on you to be like, yes, you guys are going to do this in this game, and whatever you do is going to affect the next game that happens, but it'll be a totally different game system. And like to keep going through that way, I was like, oh, I don't think I could do that.
Yeah, I mean, some people are pretty intense. I foul out of like tedious things. So anything that requires me to like, I don't know, work for a few hours doing the same thing, I'm like, I'm not gonna do that anymore. So, you know, I'm not undertaking projects like that.
Space Weebs, yes.
Yeah. Space. Well, what I mean, like, painting is fun because you're sort of like not doing the same thing the entire time. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
Building is fun as shit. Like, building models is a lot of fun. And then, you know, gluing them together and like picking their poses and what guns they have and like what helmet they get and all that shit. Like, that shit is always fun. But, priming it up is boring, but it's like completely different than painting. I have an airbrush here next to me, so I just, you know, airbrush it really quick, and then I let it sit there for a while, and the next day I try to paint it with either the airbrush or some brush, and you know, it's like it changes the entire time. I'm like doing a different thing each time I sit down to do it. I'm never batch painting whole armies, you know? I'm never like, I got to put the blue on everyone. Now I got to put the gold on everyone. I need to, you know. I'm doing like one model at a time.
I gotcha. I know DT's built up his like little airbrush station, but he hasn't sent us a picture yet. When you said you have your airbrush set up, I was like, ooh, I know his is set up. I want to see what it looks like.
Yeah. Airbrush is so cool. It's like you don't need it, but it just like really makes a lot of things easy. Especially priming.
I could see that. Okay, I know Fist, you can't see the poll, so I sent you the stuff separately. Same for AWAS. I think something must have happened on the farm. or you took a nap. Either or, I sent it to you because I think we're gonna call stream quits for tonight. That was a fun stream. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. Yeah, no problem. Love it.
And also DM Lacara. Where can they find you guys this week if they're looking for you?
You can't. No.
You can't. No, I'm playing D&D on Thursday. I'm running some D&D.
I'm.
You can't find me there, but I'm doing it.
I'm currently writing, learning more about Affinity, and practicing my design skills in graphic design, I guess, skills and layout skills. I guess the best way to...
Yeah, I got to run a genocide in my D&D game.
Oh, I'm excited for this.
Oh.
Yeah, it's one of those terrible things where it's like you open the door and you see it's like goblin women and children, non-combatants. Not good.
Man, yes.
Yeah, and I don't say this because like this is what the party wants to do. They're gonna revel in it, and I'm just like whatever. Like there's an NPC there that wants to do it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like this is completely outside of our control.
But anyway, I don't. Why are you guys saying that? It's completely out of. Anyway, it's over. Good night. Love you guys. Good eat my ice cream.
Yeah, we're going close.
Later.
Goodbye, everybody on Twitch. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.
And if you guys enjoyed yourself, don't forget to hit all the fun buttons,
true.
just like and subscribe.
Oh, and I will be back here tomorrow night at 8 p.m. for more Shell Shock Live because if you have access to my notes posts, I realized I want to start actually putting the old upload schedules back into the archive because they're all still attached since there's something I'm supposed to do after them. I never finished the campaign for Shell Shock Live because it was impossible. I still think it's going to be impossible for me, but I'm damn sure going to try because there's only 2 things left on the 2022 upload schedule. It's that and to make a follow-up video to the Mithril Armory Kickstarter that I did, which happened to be the first Kickstarter that I personally have kickstarted where there was a problem and the company just straight up gave up. And I know that happens more often than not, but it's the first one that like I was part of that it happened to. So I just want to have a little chat about that. I do have another video that I never actually uploaded in regards to it because we made a joke. Mithril Armory, it was their Tile Formers Kickstarter. They've done a whole bunch of Kickstarters. I recently learned other things about them, but they did a whole bunch of Kickstarters. I did their terrain one, which was supposed to be magnetic terrain blocks. And when I made the first video, I was like, oh, I'm gonna say that when we have all the pieces, we're gonna race to finish building them. And we started the race with the timer set and everything, and we realized halfway through that we only had half of what we were supposed to have. Like, the thought had never occurred to me that I would get half a pledge in the mail. And I got lucky. Many people got like a quarter of a pledge or an eighth of a pledge or no pledge at all. I got half of a pledge from that one. So I will eventually make a video on that as well. But in the meantime, for the foreseeable future, because I'm scared that we're not going to finish Shell Shock Live tomorrow, I will be streaming that. And then we'll see how long it takes me to actually win. Hopefully we can get it done with. And I can say that I have beaten all of Shell Shock Live. I was explaining to Awaz earlier that since Awaz joined the stream semi-recently, wasn't there when I originally played Shell Shock Live. But I originally played it in early access before they added all the features. It's a tank battling game. So when it was in early access, there was no indicator for what angle you were at. So I have a plastic screen over my laptop, and I would stick a protractor to it, and I would draw the angles on it. And it was hell. But now they have features for that. So that's good. Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow night. So until then, have a good night, everybody. Roll dice, be nice. If you're watching this as a VOD, hi! And we'll see you again next week for more DM Roundtable, which will be an Elden Ring compendium on gravity stuff. Okay, bye.